This one rattles around and will not find pay dirt.
Looking back through that first quarter, Charleston was 4 for 4 from the line, while Shepherd went 3 for 4 from the line.
Second shot up, and that one is good. So a tie ball game here now in Shepherdstown. Liz Mormon has not been in the game. Or I'm sorry, I should say Carrie Langford, the starting point guard, has not been in the game yet to start this second quarter.
Langford in the early foul trouble along with Sydney Clayton, both with 2 fouls each. Kayla Tibbs now going to check back in for Shepherd.
Get some inside presence for Shepherd offensively now.
Yeah, spells Lauren Reed, who was in for a few minutes.
Inbounds pass goes right to the baseline, up, and it will fall. Good cut by Hannah Myers, getting that inbound pass, going straight to the baseline, up and in. Shepherd regains the lead, 19-17.
Yeah, very quick to get around that defender, and once she had that first step down the left baseline, she was not going to be denied.
Oh, and a tic-tac foul called down low, and you can see the reaction from Shepherd head coach Jen Ackleberry. Both hands go into the face as she cannot believe it. And that was a little bit of a tic-tac foul.
It certainly was. Looked like a nice defensive play as Marley McLaughlin had cut off any potential driving lane there, but then the official saw it a little differently.
Drive to the lane, up, and it is good. Good drive to the lane from the point as Charleston ties it back up. Good drive to the basket. Number 10, Farrington. Again, she's began to put her name in the scorebook quite a bit in this first half. So tied at 17. Kayla Tibbs working it inside. That ball is deflected up and up, a jump ball, and then it's going back the other way for Charleston. They've got a fast break. It's Farrington again, up and in. Charleston takes the lead. A breakaway for Harrington.
Yeah, I believe that was Durden who picked up that loose ball and quickly got it ahead for the easy 2.
And Shepherd trying to find some offense here in the second quarter. Has not been plentiful so far. Kayla Tibbs was working inside, dumps it down low to Liz Mormon. She finds the bottom of the net, tied at 21.
A very nice job by Liz Mormon to put it on the floor and take it right to the rim.
Again, we are still experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties in our trial run here at Shepherd, trying to fix those. Appreciate the hard work back at the studio. Again, gang defense down there, and that'll be a quick whistle jump ball. But good defense down low. It seems like every time Charleston has tried to work that ball down low, there's been 2 or 3 Shepherd defenders.
Yeah, Liz Mormon tying up Andrea Williams as they both went to the floor to try to get to that loose basketball, and it will stay with Charleston.
Looking for an inbound pass. They find one in the left corner. Kick it back outside, and again, Shepherd right there, cutting off any drive lanes. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. A deep 3. Farrington from deep, and she will put Charleston up by 3. That was a desperation three-pointer that found the bottom of the net. 24-21 Charleston.
Yeah, Farrington had 5 points in the opening quarter. She's now in double figures here in this first half.
Kayla Tibbs working it at the top of the point. She will put down that right shoulder drive, go up and a little too hard off the backboard, and brought down to Farrington. Will bring it back up the court for Charleston.
Yeah, Williams with the rebound, got it out to Farrington, and now they're in the offensive end.
Farrington, after a couple of passes inside, brings it back out, and she will set up the offense. Then drive down low, foul, but it will be on the floor. The basket will not count. Looked like there was 3 steps taken. It looked like a jump stop, then a step, and I think that's what Jen Ackleberry is trying to explain to the referees here right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Shepherd faithful on the far side feeling the same thing, that should have been a travel before any contact was made.
Timeout here on the floor. We're going to keep it here as they still continue to do some work back at the studio. Take a look at some of the first quarter numbers. We're about halfway through this second here. Gracie Roberts was one of the big contributors for Charleston in that first half. She went 2 for 3 from the field. Good high percentage shooting there for Gracie Roberts. Then was Sydney Clayton obviously has so far been the MVP for Shepherd, 5 for 5 in that first quarter, and she is not. They've made sure in this second quarter, Charleston has, to make sure there's at least 2 defenders on her every time she gets the basketball.
Well, and she's had limited minutes in this second quarter as well because of those 2 personal fouls. Foul trouble really for both of these teams. 6 fouls in the opening quarter for Charleston, 5 for Shepherd, and each team has committed 3 fouls here in this second period, and we still have just under 5 minutes to go before halftime.
Again, appreciate the work being done back at the studio. I know Caleb Falero and I'm sure Mike Cornby working hard back at the studio trying to make sure we have a crystal clear broadcast. We look to bring you all home, or most of the home, Shepherd men's and women's doubleheaders. Again, this game will be followed at 7:30 or 20 minutes to a half hour after the women's game. It'll be the men's game tipping off. Also, Charleston in town for that one. Charleston inbounds back in, top of the point. They will try to work it inside. Again, a good double team there at the top. Down low, right underneath the basket. Floater in lane, up and in. Good take by Alanite Durden. That's now a 6-point advantage for Charleston.
Yeah, nice drive by Durden. No one stopped her. She found that soft spot in the middle of the paint and put up the short jumper.
Shepherd working it back down. They are down by 5. So it was almost a turnover. Again, another slick spot on the court here at the Butcher Center.
Yeah, Hannah Myers losing her footing. Almost walked with it and almost had to go off her hand.
Carrie Langford back in at the point for Shepherd. She looks to go down low, and that ball will be thrown away.
Well, again, good defense by Charleston. Shepherd using all of the shot clock as that pass went out of bounds. Even if it would have stayed in possession of Shepherd, they would have had a catch and shoot. Just 1 second would have been left on that shot clock.
Charleston working it back in their front court over into the corner, then working it back outside the perimeter. Back up top to Farrington as they work it down low. Again, good team defense for Shepherd. Good drive, cut over the middle of the lane. That will be up and off the rim, but getting her own rebound was Pinal. Good defense also at the top of the key. Really impressed with, while they're down by 5, really impressed so far with Shepherd's defense. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Is almost a steal by Shepherd, but now Charleston will have numbers over into the corner. 3 up, and it is good. Pinnell from the corner. She had missed a few earlier in the game, but connects on that one. It is a 8-point lead for Charleston with just over 3 minutes remaining before halftime. Kayla Tibbs, an off-balance shot that will go off the front of the rim and back the other way. A quick possession for Shepherd that does not lead to points.
And that last 3 by Pinnell was just the one that hurt for Shepherd. They had played defense so well, so deep into the shot clock, but then Pinnell found herself open in that corner and didn't miss.
Charleston looking to go up by 10 on this possession. They could, as it'll be a step-back 3. That'll be up and good again by Pinnell, as she has made back-to-back 3-pointers after starting 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. And Coach Jenna Eckleberry wants a timeout to talk to her squad. 32-21 our score from Shepherdstown. 2:39 left here in the second quarter.
Now this Charleston team has really picked it up here in this second quarter. They have forced some turnovers. They have done a much better job on the boards. They have found some openings in that defense. Even when Shepherd has made him go deep into the shot clock, they have still found a way to get a bucket up and through. So Charleston able to take the lead, well, really extend the lead after leading 16-15 after 1. Action getting back underway. Shepherd Ram basketball. Matt Crawford will be rejoining us in just a moment. Shepherd into the offensive end. Langford on that left wing picked up the dribble. Nice job to work down low left side. Liz Mormon. She was able to turn baseline and bank it up and in. That's a much needed basket for this Ram team, cutting the deficit to 32-23. staying with that man-to-man defense in the front courts. The pass at the high post to Ambria Williams. She'll be whistled with a traveling violation. Shepherd turning up that defensive pressure. They get the turnover, and now they get the possession. Right now down by 9. 2 minutes to go in our first half. Langford down the right side of the lane, able to bank this one up and in. Back-to-back buckets for the Rams, cutting into the deficit now at 32-25. Rosalia Farrington in the front court, dribbling around the perimeter, giving it off, and a shot for Pinnell as she got to that left baseline. I tell you, Brooklyn Pinnell has been the weapon here in this second quarter. She has been outstanding, finding openings, getting to the basket, and putting it up and in. She averages 14 a game, and at the line, can't connect here. 32-25 it remains. The lead for Charleston. Pinnell is a 64% foul shooter coming in. This free throw up and good. That'll make it 33-25. Charleston with the lead. Shepherd with the ball. 1:30 remaining in our first half. On the left of the lane, Langford picks up that dribble, steps back to her right, and in the lane gets the short shot to go.
Good job there by Carrie Langford, putting her shoulder down and making sure she gets up and in. Quick note to those of you watching on WRNR TV and TV10 in Berkeley and Jefferson County, having some issues with the scoreboard and the timing from here out to Butcher Center, so we'll try to keep you as informed as we can on the score and time left. That ball goes off the iron and will be brought back up by Langford. 33-27, the Charleston lead with under a minute to go now, 48 seconds and counting. Langford looks over to the bench to Coach Jen Eckleberry, looking to set up the offense. They would like to make this as minimal of a deficit as they can before going into halftime. Sydney Clayton working her way inside. Good up and under, and that goes up and in. Beautiful up and under there by Sydney Clayton. It's a 4-point game now with 30 seconds left. And if Charleston wants to, looking at the two clocks, they can hold it for the last shot.
As you said, great move by Clayton. Gave that jab step right as the defender shifted that way. She cut back to the left and was able to get it to the rim.
And it looks like that's what Charleston will do. They will hold for the last shot of the first half. And it'll be a jump ball, and that should go to Shepherd. It will be Shepherd ball, so with 2.2 seconds left, Shepherd will get the basketball back.
A great defense, Carrie Langford. Just simply getting her hands in there but not committing the foul. She and Farrington both had the ball, so the jump ball gives it to Shepherd.
And we walk over the half-court line. Big shot at the end of the half, and it'll go off the front of the iron. Carrie Langford, that looks right on target, but just goes off the front of the iron. Well, it's a 15-minute halftime break here in Shepherd's Town. It has been a good, tight-played first half. Good defense on both.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Charleston, a 33-29 lead as we are in the halftime break, and two good offensive performances team-wise on both sides of this matchup. In the first half, Charleston shooting 45.8% from the field. Three-point range, they're shooting 55%, so shooting very well from beyond the arc is Charleston. At the foul line, 75%. While you look at Shepherd, they're shooting a very impressive 54.2% from the field, 75% from the line, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc. So they are really trying to get it down low. You can't blame them with the way that Sidney Clayton played in this first half.
Well, and you look at the numbers on this season as a whole for Shepherd, and they have not shot a ton of three-pointers. And, you know, that's been their game plan today, is to work it inside, get drives to the basket, and then maybe if they've got an opening, kick it out and get a good look. But you look at Shepherd and their three-point shooting, they're 26 of 55 from beyond the arc through their first 4 games.
So they're not shy.
No, that's 45%. But overall, you look, they've taken 219 field goal attempts. So 219 when it comes to total shots, only 55 three-pointers. They've been selective when they've taken that three-point shot.
Let's take a look at some individual numbers here. 2 players in double figures for Charleston. That's Roziah Farrington, the point guard. She's got 12. She is 4 for 6 and 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. And then Brooklyn Pannell, she is 3 for 7 from the field. Started 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, but she hit her last 2, and those were 2 big three-pointers. She's got 10. 4 points for Gracie Roberts. We thought she was going to be a big factor in this first half after the impressive beginning of the first quarter she had. She hit 2 of her first 3 and had 4 points, and then got in a little bit of foul trouble and had to come out of the game. She's got 2 fouls. Also contributing for Charleston, Anna Hayton. She's got a three-pointer. She is 1 for 1 from beyond the arc. And Alanite Durden has added a basket, as well as Madison Jones adding a basket for Charleston. All right, let's look at Shepherd. Again, we mentioned Sidney Clayton. She's got 13 points, 6 for 6 from the field. Talk about efficiency. That's it.
Well, but when you can get her the basketball in the paint, she's going to make them most of the time, and that's exactly where Shepherd has been able to get her the ball with some good looks right around the rim.
As you might expect, following Sidney Clayton, it's Carrie Langford. She's had 8 points, but is only going 3 for 7 from the field. So while she's been able to get a couple to fall, she's taken a couple of shots that have been off balance and may not have been the highest quality shots she should have taken. And being at the top of the key, her job should be more to facilitate the ball around and look for people with open shots. But there comes a time on a couple of these drives where you've seen her just put her head down and want to score the basketball, which is nice. But this early in the game, you've got to try to get everybody involved and make sure as the point guard you're doing what you have to do to facilitate that ball around.
That's it. You got to get open shots for teammates, and the Rams certainly been looking to do that with those drives to the rim. If they can't get the good look right at the rim, they have gotten some pretty good shots even in the paint that haven't fallen.
So those 21 points from Langford and Clayton, Shepherd's only got 29, so not a whole lot of other contributions in this first half. 4 points for Liz Mormon down low, 2 points for Marley McLaughlin, and 2 points for Hannah Meyer. So right now it is the Carrie Langford and Sidney Clayton show, and I think Charleston has figured that out, that those are going to be their go-to players, and we saw that as Shepherd went down by 11 at one point in that second quarter, and I think Charleston's defense figured out, hey, if we stop these two, they're going to have to move the ball around more, and they were having trouble with that with Shepherd.
Well, the Rams are certainly going to have to find a way to defend Brooklyn Pennell because she has been one of the key contributors in this first half for Charleston. In fact, she was very key in that run in that second quarter where they really took command for a short time before Shepherd able to put together a little bit of a run to only trail right now by 4 at the intermission.
And you mentioned that score only a 4-point game, so while Shepherd not getting, at least in the scoring column, a lot of people involved so far, if they can start to get some other contributors, they're right in this game, only a 4-point deficit.
Yep, anxious to see what adjustments both head coaches make and then how these players come out and execute in the second half.
We're going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk about what you think those adjustments should be for both of these teams going forward in this second half of action. Again, halftime here in Shepherdstown. Charleston, the 33-29 lead here at the Butcher Center. A 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back. This is Shepherd Ram Basketball on TV10 and WRNR TV.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Welcome you back into the Butcher Center here on the campus of Shepherd University in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Charleston, the 4-point lead over the Lady Rams at the half, 33-29 your score. Well, Matt, we just talked about the contributors in the first half, and you were mentioning right before the break that coaches are going to be making adjustments at halftime. It's a natural thing here in sports that people tend to make adjustments at the half, or at least if you're good, you tend to do that. What are some of the adjustments? Let's start with the team that has the lead. What does Charleston have to do in this second half to preserve this lead and go on and get their 4th victory of the season?
Well, I think they've got to continue to do what they've been doing on the defensive end as they have made it tough for Shepherd. They have forced some turnovers. They've taken them deep into the shot clock. Meanwhile, on the offensive end, I think maybe get back to a little bit of how they started this game. They started really going down inside. That helped to open things up on the outside, including Brooklyn Pennell being able to knock down some big threes. So if they can get that inside game going again, now you've got that Shepherd defense where kind of like an accordion, you're sucking them in. Well, now you got to defend that inside, but then that leaves the outside game open.
And they were doing a pretty good job, at least down low. There was very few post opportunities for Charleston. There wasn't 2 or 3 Shepherd defenders, and while Charleston was struggling from the outside to start the game, they started hitting later and later in that second quarter, so you can't rely on that sort of defense here in the second half. All right, what does Shepherd need to do to get back into this ball game?
Rebound the basketball, and especially on the offensive end. You mentioned those numbers. Charleston 14 rebounds to Shepherd's 9, but more importantly, look at the offensive boards. 6 offensive rebounds for Charleston, just 2 for Shepherd. Can't give up that many second chance opportunities, even if they don't turn to immediate points, but there have been some of those second chance buckets as well. So they've got to rebound a little bit better. And I would say on the offensive end, occasionally, I'm not saying you slow things down completely. This is not a half-court type of team that's just going to go down and try to run, the entire shot clock down. But I think at times they've gotten a little too quick on offense as they've gone to the rim and taken some tough shots, some tough angles, some hard runners, without really getting a better look offensively. I think at times they might want to slow it down just a touch.
Do you see Shepherd shooting the ball a little bit more, taking more shots from the outside?
It depends. I mean, this Charleston defense, if it continues to give up some of those lanes, I like the way they're driving to the basket, and obviously they've had success getting inside to Sydney Clayton, and Liz Mormon has looked good in there a few times as well when she's gotten the ball. So I don't have a problem maybe going inside, but yeah, eventually that inside game should lead to some outside looks.
All right, we're going to take another 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at some other action going on around the Mountain East Conference today in women's basketball. One game played at 1 p.m. this afternoon, I'm guessing because of the Thanksgiving break having this week off. One game already done for this Monday, November 19th. We'll take a look at that next. This is Shepherd Ram Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV and TV 10.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Yes, it is. I'm back. All right. And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center. Halftime just about 2 minutes from being over before the second half of action getting going. Again, it's 33-29. Charleston with the lead here in Shepherdstown. All right, let's take a look at some games going on around the Mountain East today. And again, one already done. We'll start with that one. It was Concord and Urbana playing at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Concord gets to win in that one, 96-87. Fairmont State and West Virginia State playing. It's a 43-42 game. That game, 55 seconds left before the half. It's Notre Dame taking on Wise. Notre Dame has the lead over Wise, 30-17. That game also at the half. West Virginia Wesleyan and West Liberty. It is West Liberty with the lead over Wesleyan, 33-27. That game also at the half. And Wheeling Jesuit and Glenville State. It is all Glenville State as they are just about to go into the half. Check out this first half production. 59-31, Glenville State with the lead. That's a good first half for Glenville State.
Hey, Glenville State has been the cream of the crop in women's basketball in this Mountain East Conference for a few years, or certainly one of, and they've got it going again.
Well, we have about a minute left before it'll be the second half of action here in Shepherdstown. Again, we apologize. Still trying to work out some kinks on our TV 10 and WRNR TV. It looks like we are going to go without a scoreboard in the second half here. We'll most likely not have it for the guys game later on either, but we will again try to fix that in the upcoming days. A week before we will do our next game, even over a week. It'll be next Wednesday. We'll be back here for a doubleheader. So again, stick with us. We're still in its infant stages. We will try to get better, and we appreciate you tuning in tonight and sticking with us through all of these difficulties. And both teams starting to make their way out, or at least Shepherd is starting to make their way out back onto the floor. 33-29 your score here. Charleston with the lead.
See how Shepherd responds to get this second half underway, to see if they can very quickly cut into that deficit or whether Charleston is able to open it up a little bit more.
It'll be Charleston getting the ball to start this second half with the lead by 4. Outside shot right off the get-go. That is off the front of the iron, and a good rebound by Kayla Tibbs down low.
Yeah, Anna Hayton working open on that left wing. She made a 3 in that first half pretty early on in that first quarter, as a matter of fact, but couldn't connect here.
Carrie Langford setting up the offense, going down low to Sydney Clayton, and she will miss her first shot of the game. That one partially blocked going up. So after going 6 for 6 in the first half, Sydney Clayton will miss her first shot here in the second.
Yeah, good defense, Deanna Sanders.
Oh, a wide open shot missed right there. Good backdoor cut as it'll be a jump ball. Wow, that was a wide open shot for Deanna Summers, and she missed a wide open layup, but a good backdoor cut for her.
Yeah, she set a pick and then rolled right off of that and had that cut down the baseline, got the open look. It may have been too open.
Shepherd will work their way back down the court in a trap. Mormon gets out of it. Or Langford gets out of it, works it to Kayla Tibbs on the outside, looks to go to Mormon, and that was just sloppy offense at that end of the court for Shepherd. Foul, and that'll be up and in. Good hard work by Pennell down low as she fought through the contact to be able to get up and put it in for two, and will go to the foul line to try to make it an old-fashioned three-point play.
Outstanding defense by Charleston to force the turnover and then get the bucket, and then there's been a little bit of jawing, it seems like, perhaps after. And I believe one of our officials may have called a technical. I'm waiting to see what's coming as our officials get together at the center of the floor.
Both teams, it definitely wasn't on any physical contact, so.
No, both teams going back to their benches. Seemed to be that Brooklyn Pennell, kind of working your way out from underneath the bucket after getting that one in, with some really hard hand claps. And I don't know if words were spoken, but one of our officials came away, it looked like to me, ready to call that technical, sending the teams to their benches. They're now going to call the coaches together.
And it looks like it will be a technical, as Pennell will be by herself at that foul line. So still waiting. Never got an official signal, I don't think.
I believe what we're going to have is the free throw for the and one on this end, and then we'll go to the other end for any technical free throws.
Up and in for Pennell as the old school three-point play is converted. 7-point lead now for Charleston. And you were accurate, as coming down to the other end is Kayla Tibbs for her foul shot. And that is up and good on shot number one. Shepherd cracks 30 now, 30 to 36, 36-30, the Charleston lead. Second foul shot up and good for Kayla Tibbs.
Now looking at the numbers for Kayla Tibbs, she's a 79% free throw shooter, 11 of 14 coming in.
And that will mean if there was a technical, which it looked like there was, because of all that, Shepherd does get the ball back as Carrie Langford brings it up in the front court. She drives, works to the left, and that'll be a walk. No, not a walk called. And a jump ball called after that. Not sure how they couldn't. I'm not sure how that wasn't a traveling violation. Took two steps and fell and slid about 5 feet. But either way, ball will go back to Charleston.
Yeah, she was trying to maintain a dribble even while going across the floor, and apparently the officials felt perhaps she did, but then got tied up, and it is a turnover anyway. Now a near turnover as Shepherd able to get a hand on the ball. It looked like Tibbs and then Clayton, who each had their hands on it, but neither could corral it.
Kayla Tibbs doing a good job moving those hands back and forth on the defensive end. 18 seconds left in the shot clock with the inbound coming in. Good down low pass, and that'll be a late foul call underneath, and Charleston will go to the line for two.
That's just a great cut to the basket by Deanna Sanders. If she was good with her left hand, she could have kept going right up underneath and had a wide open look on the other side of the rim, but felt more comfortable trying to get it up with the right hand and drew the foul.
And she connects on the first foul shot as it hits about every part of that rim. Yeah, you mentioned her not going up with that left hand, went up with the right hand and hit the box right underneath the rim. And again, a late foul call, but she is at the line. It connects on her first, 37-31 Charleston.
Second on McLaughlin, as the Rams have now committed a pair of fouls in this third quarter.
Second shot up and good. Charleston extends the lead to 7 points as they work a little bit of a press now. Haven't seen this yet today, but Shepherd does get it over the time stripe. Over into the corner, and that was a trap play from the get-go as Charleston will come back the other way. Thought about going inside, brings it back out. Again, good defense, good job moving the feet for the Shepherd defense. Pinnell working inside now, and she will go up and no off the back of the iron, but an offensive rebound up and in for Charleston. 21, Deanna Summers using her body down low and getting those second chance points. A 9-point lead now for Charleston as they continue that press. And Shepherd needs to get over the line as that was almost 10 seconds. It looked like the shot clock had hit 20 in the corner. It's Kayla Tibbs. She connects a three-pointer for Tibbs, and that draws Shepherd back to within a two-possession game, a 40-34 lead now for Charleston.
Has a huge three-pointer as Shepherd has been struggling a bit with this trapping defense of Charleston.
And I think a little lucky they even had the ball there. It looked like it was going to be a 10-second violation. Shot up from beyond the arc. That is up, and it is good. Pinnell from beyond the arc, and that takes away that Kayla Tibbs three-pointer. It's still a 9-point ball game here in Shepherdstown. Back off the press a little bit. Not sure I understand that for Charleston as Shepherd gets it up easily. Kayla Tibbs again, step back three. It's up, and it is good. Kayla Tibbs back-to-back three-pointers. That one a step back. She felt really confident, caught it about 2 feet inside the three-point line, took a step back and nailed a three, and she's clapping her hands at the other end. She is ready to go. But good inside work by Charleston. An offensive rebound. That is up, and it is good as it rolls around. Good work inside by Anna Hayton. Put a shot up, went off the rim, got her own rebound, drew contact going up, and that swirled around the rim and somehow fell. And again, could be another three-point play here at this end of the court.
Well, the 6'2 forward/center for Charleston, a tough matchup for Liz Mormon of the Rams, who's 5'10".
Anna Hayton connects on that one, so we've had 4 consecutive three-point plays over the last couple times up the court for each team offensively. As Shepherd brings it back down, a 9-point lead for Charleston, 46-37, 6:35 left here in the third quarter. Kayla Tibbs works it down low. Oh, a good pass to Liz Mormon, couldn't handle it, but she does get it before it goes out of bounds. She picks up her dribble in an awkward spot, but does get it out to Kayla Tibbs. Kayla Tibbs driving with that left hand, works up, and she gets it blocked down low. Good block by Deanna Sanders as Charleston brings back up the court. Good defense in there by Shepherd, taken away. Good job down low by McLaughlin. They work it up the court. Good up and under, and that'll go up and in. It'll be Hannah Myers with the 2-point play there. Good job hesitating and then going up and in.
Fitting that she gets the bucket. Hannah Myers, the one that initially knocked the ball loose on the other end, and then she quickly raced it down to the offensive bucket where she was able to lay it in.
46-39, 7-point game. Charleston with the lead. 5:45 to go in this one. There's a three-pointer from beyond the arc. It is knocked down. Great shot again by Brooklyn Pinnell, and this has become a three-pointer extravaganza here in the third quarter.
She came in averaging 14 a game. I think she's going to go well beyond that in this one, the way that she is shooting right now.
Good take to the basket, has to bring it back out. Looking down low, up and under, and a little too up and under. It looked like Myers could have grabbed that basketball. It looked more like she punched it out, but either way, Shepherd keeps the ball. Carrie Langford sets up the offense, goes over into the corner. It'll be Kayla Tibbs. She's going to try another three, and she misses it off the backside of the iron, and a foul down low. And it'll go against Charleston.
Wow, it's Sanders, Deanna Sanders, who will pick up her third foul, and now a bit of a decision for Becky Burke, the first-year Golden Eagle head coach. Leave her on the floor or take her out.
Looks like she's going to leave her on the floor. Nobody coming off that bench for Charleston. Oh, and a bad offensive play there, not knowing where each other were on the field. It's a turnover and back the other way, up and in by Sanders. Bring it back up the court again. In at the point is Bedregal. She came in for Carrie Langford in the second quarter. Sydney Clayton up and under, and she will get fouled. Won't get the basket, goes off the back of the iron, but she will go to the line for two.
She's got some nice moves down low, catching that one to the right of the paint, giving a fake one way, going up the other, and drawing that contact from Anna Hayton.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. We'll be back in a minute. The score is 51-39. Charleston with the lead. 4:35 here to play in this third quarter. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on WRNR TV and TV 10.
things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Yeah, we can definitely try that. Welcome back in to the Butcher Center. 4:35 remaining here in the third quarter. It will be Sydney Clayton at the line, shooting 2. First one up and in as Shepard cracks that 40-point margin.
Clayton, an 80% foul shooter coming into today. He's had a very strong offensive game.
Second one up, and it is good. A 10-point game now. Charleston up 51-41 as they work it back down the court on offense. Number 15, Madison Jones, running the point right now for Charleston. Kicks it back out, a 3-ball up, and it is good. Anna Hayton, the 3-pointer. And so far, Charleston is, and as is Shepard, right now in this third quarter, teams are shooting very well from beyond the arc.
Yeah, this is a team coming in that was shooting only about 25% from beyond the arc.
Not so much after this one. Sydney Clayton gets it down low, tries to go without the ball. Kicks it back outside. It'll be a 3-point attempt, and we'll get a 3-second call down low. It'll go back to Charleston.
Yeah, shot wouldn't have counted even had it gone in as the whistle was blowing on the shot.
Looked like Lauren Reed sitting in the lane just a little bit too long. She comes into the game after that timeout. Working it inside yet again. It is Anna Hayton, and her size really coming in handy right now as Liz Mormon not on the floor, and she is one of Shepard's taller players.
Well, and think of what she's done. She's stepped out and drained a 3, and next trip down the floor, they get it to her in the paint. She really makes it hard on the defense.
Drive down this left side, up and back under, and that is off the front of the iron, and it'll go the other way for Charleston.
And Lauren Reed with that last shot attempt. Got a pretty decent look. Shepard needs a stop here. And instead, they're going to get a foul. And that's going to go on Clayton, which will be her 3rd.
Going to the line will be number 21, Deanna Sanders. First foul shot up, and it rattles in and out.
Tell you, between Sanders, Pennell, and Hayton, the 3 have really played well in this one for Charleston, leading the way to this, right now, 15-point lead.
Now second shot up, and it is good. Make that Sanders' second shot up and good as Shepard will bring it back down the other way. Needing points and needing points bad. As you just said, 16-point game, 57-41. Just under 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Trying to work down low to Sydney Clayton. Can't find her. The kick back outside. A 3 from the outside, airballed by Lauren Reed. Not the wisest shot. She did have a defender right in her face, was trying to make something happen quick. Good job of getting to Sydney Clayton. Back out at the top of the point. And Shepard will set up their offense. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Sydney Clayton with the ball. Driving left. She will ditch it down low, and it'll stay Shepard ball. Not sure if they'll put a second back on that shot clock or whether it'll be a shot clock violation. Looks like the refs are going to discuss that.
Yep,
and they'll put 1 second back up on that shot clock.
Little shuffle pass underneath, trying to get it to Tarisha Henderson. A Charleston defender got a hand on the ball to knock it out of bounds, and now it's going to be pretty much a catch and shoot.
Into Clayton, up, and it is off the back of the iron.
Oh, but hang on, we had
There was
a whistle.
There should not have been a whistle there. The ball hit the back of the iron. That shot clock should have reset.
No, I think we have a foul. And we do. Our outside official here on this near side, I could see her moving in, having blown the whistle. She goes to the scorer's table, and she has the personal foul call on it. Looks like Madison Jones.
Not a smart foul. I thought they were blowing the whistle thinking it would have been a shot clock violation.
Coach Burke is asking, what was that foul?
First foul shot up and off the front of the iron. Sydney Clayton misses the front end of a two-shot foul. Second shot up and off the back of the iron this time. Try to compensate, but a little too much on it this time.
80% foul shooter coming in. Missed a pair there. Those two hurt.
Jones setting up the offense for Charleston. Waiting for somebody to get open. A lot of standing around down low.
Yes, Shepard changing up, going to his own defense.
Again, not a lot of movement on the offensive end for Charleston. 3 seconds left on that shot clock and a late foul. To me, that's fighting for the ball right there, but it'll be a foul on Tarisha Henderson.
Yeah, I agree with you. Tough call on Henderson, and what really makes it tough is that foul comes just as the shot clock was about to wind out.
So frustrating calls like that on each end of the last two possessions for each one of these teams. First foul shot up, rattles around and in for Deanna Sanders. And no substitution allowed. Now the substitution will come back in. It'll be Carrie Langford returning to run the point for Shepard. They found themselves in a 17-point hole with 2 minutes left to go here in this third quarter, 58-41.
Pretty nice job of focus as that horn was sounding to then still be able to put that free throw up and through.
So make that 59-41 as they update our scoreboard, and horns going around everywhere now. Carrie Langford bringing the ball in the front court for Shepard, working it down low. Again, that is Henderson. Henderson making her first action here in the third quarter of this game today. Sydney Clayton up and rattles around. It will go off the left side of the iron and brought down by Anna Hayton. As she gives it up, and now Charleston trying to set up their offense. Had some issues with that last drive. As now it'll be Carrie Langford up and in on the breakaway, and Shepard 59-43 now the deficit for Shepard, drawing within 16 with just over a minute left here in the third quarter.
You'd like to get this deficit down, if at all possible, to 12, maybe even 10 points going into that final quarter.
Well, there'll be a foul on the floor as, again, another offensive rebound for Charleston.
Yeah, Hayton with a nice move to the bucket when she didn't get the shot. No one boxed out on the backside.
And that has been an issue today for the Shepard Rams. At the line, it'll be number 3, Alanite Durden, as she connects on her first foul shot. Some substitutions for Charleston. Number 10, Rosia Farrington back in the game. That second foul shot rattles around and will be brought down with 1 minute left to play here in the third quarter. Carrie Langford brings it back on the offensive side for Shepard. Langford with a little bit of jump stop in the lane. She will kick it back out, and a trap here at the top of the wing. Langford again trying to set up the offense. Gets it poked away, but she will get the ball back, now trapped at the top. She will try to work it into that right wing. Nowhere to go. Works back to the lane. Goes into the center of the lane. Will put up a prayer. It'll go in. Not sure that's how Jen Eckleberry draws that up on the whiteboard, but up and in for Carrie Langford as we now have 27 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Like that tenacity, though. Langford going to take it in there, even if it got rejected, even if she missed it, she was going to get that shot in the lane.
Charleston will have to shoot before the end of this third. About 3 seconds differentiating the shot clock and game clock here. No pressure out on top, which we thought you may have seen. Dumped down low as the shot clock was expiring, and a good job by Alanite Durden.
Well, and even a better job on that pass from Brooklyn Pennell. She gave that ball fake beyond the arc, put it on the floor, drew a defender to her, and then that left the open lane to get it to Durden down low.
And with 0.2 seconds left, not even enough time for a shot here. As soon as it touches, the would-be point guard Carrie Langford will come out now, right before the end of this third. So again, 0.2 left here before the end of the third quarter.
It's been a tough third quarter for the Rams. We'll see how they can rebound, or if they can rebound in that fourth quarter.
And they will not as the final second. They did add some time to the clock, so it was a little more than 0.2 seconds, but still not enough time as the clock will expire here in the third quarter. A tough hill for Shepherd to climb here in the fourth. They want to come back in this one. Right now, Charleston has the lead, 62-45. 1 quarter left to play here in Shepherdstown. Again, Charleston 62, Shepherd 45. We'll be back for the fourth quarter of action. You're listening to Shepherd Ram Basketball and watching Shepherd Ram Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back into the Butcher Center. Start of the fourth quarter here in Shepherdstown. It's Charleston 62, Shepherd 45. Shepherd needing a little more offense here in the fourth if they're going to come back in this one and try to get win number 4 on the season. Both of these teams still early in this season, still trying for win number 4. Both teams come in with a 3-1 record. Well, here comes the inbound. Shepherd with the basketball to start this fourth quarter. They chose not to shoot to make sure they got the ball here in the fourth. Pass tries to go inside to Liz Moorman, and a loose ball will be picked up eventually in a jump ball. Well, any way you need to hold that basketball is. It was Marley McLaughlin using her legs to make sure that she was maintaining possession in some way, shape, or form.
Unfortunately, possession arrow still ends up going to Charleston. They get it on a turnover, and not the possession that Coach Jenna Eckleberry wanted to start this for.
Especially not off the start. And Liz Moorman down low. Looked like her feet were set, but apparently still sliding a little bit as she gets called for the blocking foul down low.
Yeah, Anna Hayton trying to back her way in. Both ended up hitting the deck, and it's the foul on Liz Moorman, her second.
A long 2 in the corner, and that will be an air ball. But again, another offensive rebound, and the offensive rebound from Brooklyn Pennell. Something that Shepherd has let happen way too often is giving up those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that'll be the 11th offensive rebound allowed here in this one.
And a good stop this time is it'll be Marley McLaughlin bringing the ball up the court.
Yeah, Farrington got away with a travel but lost the ball at the same time, and ultimately it was picked up by Shepherd, and they quickly worked the other way. And now we have a foul on the Golden Eagles.
And Matt, you mentioned that was the 11th offensive rebound. You can't have that. You can't be in double digits in offensive rebounds throughout an entire game, let alone going into the fourth quarter.
It's a lot of second chance shot and opportunities for Charleston to put points on the board. By the way, that foul on Anna Hayton is her 4th. She's going to stay out there, though, with that 4 fouls.
And another 3-second call on Shepherd, the second one we've seen here in this second half. That is turnover number 14 now for the Rams.
They have struggled a bit in this one with the turnover bug, and this Charleston defense has been solid.
62-45, 8:40 remaining here in the ball game. Driving inside, nowhere to go, and now a 3-second violation on this end. And apparently that's one of those calls that the referees talked about before the game that they were going to watch for, because you never know what you're going to get with that call depending on the officiating crew. Some really like to call that, some really don't.
Nice defense, Hannah Myers, though, helping to, I guess, ultimately force that 3-second call.
Trying to work it inside. That'll be a floater on the right side. Good up and in by Hannah Myers.
And a good possession that time for Shepherd, and that's what you got to do. You've got to score on your offensive possessions, come up with defensive stops on the other end, and that's what the Rams need now.
And they need a big defensive stop here, as you just said. And a good job keeping Charleston out of the paint there. A drive, it is Pennell, and she will get fouled on the floor. No shot.
At Charleston doing a nice job moving this ball around from side to side, creating some openings, and then that drive to the basket, drawing contact, and the second personal foul that will go against, it looks like, Maddie White.
Inbound for Charleston. Nice up and under, and that will count. Good up and under play there. Rosia Farrington. Haven't called her name a whole lot in this second half, but she is a big contributor in the first.
Yeah, look at those scoring numbers, and right now she, along with Pennell and Hayton, have been leading this team. Nice move.
Good, very, very nice move.
That's Sydney Clayton again down low.
Again, one of those things that called an awful lot in the first half. The third quarter was quiet for Clayton. Kicks it back out, a 3-ball, and that's one off the back of the out, and another offensive rebound. Again, Brooklyn Pennell, she's gotten a couple here in the fourth. Make that offensive rebound number 12 for Charleston.
And Shepherd did a nice job defensively, forced that long shot, but now Charleston with a chance to run time off the clock with this lead as they run that play clock down to 10 seconds before starting their offense.
Pennell jumps up and under, and that'll go off the back of the iron. And another offensive rebound. This time it was by Anna Hayton, and she will get fouled and go to the line for 2.
2 seconds left on that shot clock as the shot was going up. It comes off the rim, and there she is again at 6'2", the junior forward/center, pulling that one down, drawing contact, and now going to the line. Boy, and she is a tough one to foul. A 91% foul shooter coming in. She had made 11 out of 12 on the season through the first 4 games.
Now 2 for 2. Make that 2 for 3 on the day. As almost another offensive rebound. It will be. Wow, you outman Charleston down there if you're Shepherd. 4-2 down low. And right there, that's an effort play.
Yeah, Brooklyn Pennell with the great effort to be able to get to that loose ball and eventually bounce it off of the leg of Hannah Myers, and it'll stay with Charleston.
So make that basically 3 straight offensive rebounds for Pennell.
Yeah, they are spending a lot of time in the offensive end and running time off that clock with a 65-49 lead.
Rosia Farrington not in any hurry here, just trying to, as you said, take some time off the clock. There's 15 still left on the shot clock. Pennell from the corner, and she got it. 3 from the left corner, and that is a tough one. 68-49 now, a 19-point lead for Charleston, and Shepherd needs to get going and get going fast. Carrie Langford up and in. Good quick take for Carrie Langford. That's what they need. They need quick points, but then bad transition defense has 2 points the other way quick. Rosia Farrington. So the quick points are nice, but you have to be able to get back in transition defense.
Yeah, they've had a nice offensive start to this fourth quarter, but the problem has been on the defensive end. They haven't been able to get stops.
And that'll be an offensive foul on Sydney Clayton. She was looking to go up with a shot and wanted to clear some room for herself. You could see the obvious extending of that right arm.
Yep. It was pretty evident. I believe it was Gracie Roberts, the one who took that charge, hitting the deck, and now Charleston back in the offensive end.
Up and in. Again, another easy basket. Again, it's Roziah Farrington with that one. Back-to-back baskets for Farrington.
Yeah, hesitation move there in the lane. Got the defense kind of flat-footed, and then boom, she exploded to the rim.
Sydney Clayton trying to work again underneath, and she loses the ball on the ground. It'll be picked up, and that'll be Charleston basketball. 5:22 left to play. Charleston, a 72-51 lead, 21-point advantage.
It's been a tough second half for this Ram team. Turnovers and rebounds have hurt them.
Over in the corner, it's Hayton for three, and she misses off the back of the iron. Rebound by Sydney Clayton. She'll bring it the other way, dumping it off to Carrie Langford. Langford outside looking for Tibbs. Tibbs, pump fake up and under. She'll get fouled and connect on the shot. Will go to the line to try to make it a three-point play.
That's a nice move by Tibbs to be able to knock that one down even with the contact and now get a chance to cut into the deficit without any time running off the clock.
Timeout on the court. We will take one as well. Right now your score is 72-53. Charleston ahead by 19. 4:58 remaining here in the ball game. You're listening and watching Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level. If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
And we welcome you back in to the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University. Right now it is all Charleston, 72-53. It'll be Kayla Tibbs at the foul line trying to complete a three-point play. Tibbs 2 for 2 in the game so far. Make that 3 for 3. 72-54 now. Shepherd down by 18 with just under 5 to play here in the ball game. Press working now for Shepherd, but easily broken by Charleston. Good job by Roziah Farrington as she goes up and she goes in. She went coast to coast on that one, going every which way she needed to, but found the bottom of the basket. 74-54, a 20-point lead now for Charleston.
On the second time she's used that hesitation move where she starts towards the bucket, kind of slows down, the defense rests for just a moment, and then boom, with that quick first step, she finds herself at the rim.
And Shepherd taking a lot of time here on this possession. Sydney Clayton up and in. She was right near the basket. A good jump shot as we will have a timeout on the floor. Let's keep this one here. Again, we want to apologize for our WRNR TV viewers and TV 10 viewers having some issues with the scoreboard. Still trying to figure everything out here. Our first only TV broadcast. So we're still trying to figure out all the kinks. We appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying at least watching the video coverage on Comcast Cable Channel 10 and our WRNR audience on YouTube. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will try to get those kinks figured out. Again, we'll be back here a little bit over a week from now, next Wednesday, the next time we are planning to be down here. And again, make sure you stick with us. It'll be about a 20-minute break after this one. We're going to take about 15 of that and then come back, and make sure you stay tuned. We'll have a visual up, so the screen won't go black for you, but we will take a 15-20-minute break here, and then we'll come back for the guys' game. They will tip off about 20 minutes to a half hour after the girls finish up.
Well, and anxious to see how the Rams come out and respond in that one as the men's team suffered their first loss of the season against West Virginia State on Saturday. How will they bounce back tonight?
Both teams off to a very, very hot start. And again, talking to Coach Mamlick and Coach Eckleberry, had a chance to go to the booster/media meet and greet event for the second year in a row, a great event that the basketball boosters put on, and got a chance to talk with both head coaches. And I mean, looking at the rosters, you didn't even need to talk to the head coach, you just look at these rosters. Two very, very young teams. And this this women's team you're watching now, that they're going to be just fine this year. And the men's side, they're looking to be very, very deep from what we've seen this year. Charleston with the inbound. Again, a press put on by Shepherd. Charleston just gets it over that timeline. And they will be able to set up their offense with 20 left on the shot clock. Pinnell just looking to waste some time as she hands it off. Kicks it over. That is Farrington. Farrington goes up, and she'll miss off the front of the iron. A good offensive rebound. Numbers down the other way. It's Langford and Tibbs. Tibbs from the outside. She's going to put up the three, and she will hit it. Good transition offense and good job of knowing where you are on the court for both Carrie Langford and Kayla Tibbs. Good job offensively. And we have a timeout on the floor. This one we will send back to the studio and take this 30-second break. Right now, your score, it is Charleston 74, Shepherd 59, 3:42 left to play. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back into the Butcher Center. A quick timeout as we bring you back to a live action. Good turnover and quick points for Shepherd as they need points badly at this point of the game right now. 74-61. Shepherd on a little run here, down by just 13 with 3:22 to play.
Now timeout being taken. A good move by Becky Burke, first-year head coach for the Golden Eagles. Her player trapped along that far sideline, and she burns that timeout to make sure that they can keep the possession. Shepherd again getting their points where? Inside. Sydney Clayton down low.
And you got to be impressed with what this was, a 21-point game at one point here in the fourth. You got to be impressed that Shepherd has not given up yet. They're still battling, and it shows the youth, and it shows not only the youth, but it also shows how that youth is conforming with the maturity on this team. And the 3 seniors on this squad, they are not giving up at all and have drawn it back to it's still a tough hill to climb, but now a 13-point deficit rather than a 21 here with 3:22 left to play in this one.
Well, you look at those 3 seniors for Shepherd with Kayla Tibbs, with Carrie Langford, and Liz Mormon. Those are 3 hustle players.
And a foul, it'll be, they're going to, wow, that was a questionable continuation call. I thought there was at least a step or 2 taken after, but the points will count. And going to the line will be Roziah Farrington.
Well, and unfortunately going to the bench, it looks like, will be Carrie Langford, as that is going to be her 5th personal foul. She's down along the blocks talking with the officials.
I don't think she thought that was her.
That's what she is saying. The officials are letting her know, nope, we've called the foul on you. And now Jenna Eckleberry going to get involved in the conversation as well.
Coach Eckleberry never afraid to let the referees or her team know what she's thinking. As the refs will now get together as Liz Mormon, or Carrie Langford, pardon me. Carrie Langford pretty adamant that foul was not on her.
Well, and our officials got together and they do change that call. The foul will go against Hannah Myers. And so Langford will stay on the floor.
And now the refs will hear it from Charleston coach Becky Burke going, how can you change that foul? Just because Jenna Eckleberry wanted you to. And now we're going to have another stoppage. Not sure what this one's for.
They're making sure of the free throw situation. Remember, she made a shot, so this is only 1, not 2.
Farrington's foul shot up. It is good. 77-61. Charleston extends the lead back out to 16. Carrie Langford brings the ball up. Stops in the lane, trying to get it down low to Sydney Clayton. Clayton will use her body to try to get it out. Over into the corner, a three-pointer up, and it is good. Good shot by Marley McLaughlin. Three-pointer in the left corner. Charleston will break the press. Barrington working in, but will retreat back out to set up the offense. She's going to have a wide-open jumper. She goes back in, but that'll go off the iron, and another offensive rebound and a foul. Offensive rebound by Deanna Sanders. As yet again, another offensive rebound given up by Shepherd.
Yep, this Charleston team certainly has done the job on the glass, and that is one of the reasons why they have this lead. They've also shot lights out.
They've shot phenomenal. Would love to see what the number is for second chance points so far this game for Charleston. But those shots up to go to 15-point lead now for Charleston, 79-64, 2:40 left to play in this one. Langford going up, and she is fouled and will go to the line. She will shoot two. And I believe we have a timeout on the floor. Not sure if it's just a quick conference. We will not have a timeout, just a quick word with head coach Jenna Eckleberry.
Yeah, Gracie Roberts committing the foul, and Coach Eckleberry taking the opportunity to call 4 of her 5 players over to go over some strategy as Langford steps to the line.
Langford makes her first shot coming into today. Carrie Langford, 21 for 35 on free throws.
60%.
Second one up and off the front of the iron, so she makes 1 of 2, a little under that average, and that could have very easily been called a walk. Looked like Deanna Sanders dragged that foot just a little bit.
And now we got a foul in the back court as that foul goes on Marley McLaughlin.
2:31 left to play in this one, 79-65. Charleston with the lead here in the fourth quarter. Both teams 3-1 coming into this one as the first foul shot is made. Gracie Roberts. Haven't called her name in a while. Second foul shot up and good. Again, Gracie Roberts knocks down both. 81-65 now your score. Charleston out in front big here in Shepherdstown. Sydney Clayton trying to find a way inside any way she can, and they will get her for a travel. Thought they may have gotten her for a offensive foul, throwing that left elbow around as she spun, but they're going to say she took too many steps without that all-important dribble in between.
Yeah, Gracie Roberts falling down behind her, and I think that is what kind of created that travel situation.
And then a blocking foul by McLaughlin, just trying to set those feet, and we are now into the bonus. As every foul from here on out will go to the line for Charleston.
Charleston on this season, pretty decent free throw shooting team. 72% as a team.
Up and in, Gracie Roberts again. Roberts knocks it down, 4 for 4 in her last 4 attempts. 83-65 now to lead. Langford driving in, throws up a floater, and that'll get stuck for a jump ball in the corner between the basket, the rim, and the backboard. And the Charleston men's team standing in the corner, but they will get a second basketball to get that one down. Thought they may have called one of the big fellas over from the men's team to hop up and knock that out. It'll be Shepherd basketball. Inbounding from the baseline is Carrie Langford. Gets into Kayla Tibbs. Now the offense will set up, trying to work that ball into the inside. Sydney Clayton had it momentarily. She does get it back, but steps on the baseline, and it'll go back the other way with 2 minutes left. Ball going back to Charleston, and this one wrapping up in pretty dominating fashion here for Charleston.
Yeah, Angela DiLorenzo didn't quite get that pass over top of the defender, and that meant Clayton had to battle for a loose ball and ended up stepping out of bounds.
Charleston had a couple open shots. They're not worried about the points right now. They're just worried about knocking a few more ticks off the clock here.
putting up 80-plus points. That's good for them. It'll mark the second time this season they've been able to score at that pace.
Jump ball here, and it will go. It'll stay at this end of the court.
And an 89-58 victory at Mercyhurst to open the season. Then after a 70-53 loss at Cal PA, a 77-69 win over WVU Tech, and then a 63-55 victory against Fairmont State.
2 seconds left in the shot clock with that inbound. Gracie Roberts put up a prayer three, air ball. That will be a shot clock violation. And we'll go back down to the other end of the court with just over a minute and a half left in this one. 83-65, the lead for Charleston. Drive to the basket. Good drive, and count it, and that will be another one. Angela De Lorenzo, a good hard drive to the basket, gets the bucket to fall, and we'll go to the foul line to try to make this a three-point play.
Brooklyn Pinau a little late in getting there. Called with her third personal.
Shot up and off the front of the iron, but almost gets her own rebound, but Charleston will get that one. And had a breaker going the other way as Farrington was looking for the breakaway, but again, Charleston content with just taking those precious seconds off the clock as we near a minute to play in this one. And it'll be a timeout for Charleston. Not sure what the timeout would be needed for here. You have an 83-67 lead with a minute 3 left. I guess you just make sure you're not doing anything dumb, maybe making sure, hey, if Shepherd wants to drive the lane, give it to him at this point in the game. Something like that. Don't get any dumb fouls. I'm again, just spitballing here, not really sure the purpose of a timeout with 13 seconds left on the shot clock and just a minute 3 left in the game that is easily going to be won by Charleston.
Yeah, pulling away in this one. The Rams came out well in that opening quarter, went into the locker room at the half, still within striking distance at 4, but Charleston really began to pull away in that third quarter. Shepherd with a furious comeback here in the fourth quarter, but the closer they got, well, Charleston able to turn it right around and push that lead back out again.
So we're under a minute to play here. 8 seconds left on the shot clock as that ball poked away. Good defensive play there by Carrie Langford. Again, 6 on the shot clock when the ball's touched here on the inbound. And they do get it in. 5 left on the shot clock. Good screen up top. A three-point attempt from the left wing, and that'll be off the iron and rebounded by Shepherd as they try to push it, and they need points quick. Deficit not going to be overcome, but any points you can get would be nice at this point in the game. Up and fouled on the way up. This is Hannah Meyer. She will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, nice pass, Maddie White, as she got it along that left baseline. Hesitated just for a moment until Myers could get free cutting down the lane.
Myers at the foul line, first shot up and through nothing but net. Looking at her free throw percentage this year, she's only been to the line 4 times. This will be her 5th. 1 for 4 coming in. It's only a 25% free throw shooter. And that second one up and good. So 2 for 2 there. It's going to raise that percentage up quickly. 38 seconds now and counting. Charleston will just have to hold this one. Take a last second shot on the shot clock. And then this one will be just about wrapped up. Just working it around the perimeter. And a foul down at the other, down low. It's number 33 in the Berta Torella in for Charleston. Her first action today, as she will go to the line for 2. First one up, and it is good. Torella's first attempts from the foul line this year, so her first foul shot of the season is up, and it is good, as it looks like Coach Burke now clearing the bench a little bit.
She has played in each of their 4 games so far this season.
Second shot off the back of the iron, goes straight up and falls back through. Shepherd bringing it back the other way. Under 20 now to play in this one. Trying to work inside, nothing doing there. Works it back outside. Good drive in the middle of the lane. Floater up, and a foul call. It would be a blocking foul. So a good drive to the lane right there. Maddie White, the freshman from Hamilton, Virginia, in the game now. Guard runs 5'11", and she'll be at the foul line with 2 on the way. She is 1 for 2 on the season so far, 50%. Make that 2 for 3 and 66%. That's that easy mental math I can do in my head.
Yeah, when they're that low in the numbers that they have taken.
And there is 2 for 2 on that, making her 3 for 4 for the season at 75%.
I'm right there with you.
And that horn means the game is over. A final here in Shepherdstown. 85-71, Charleston gets the win here today. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk some stats and take a look at what else went on in women's college basketball around the Mountain East Conference today, and then set you up for the men's game, again starting 20 minutes from now. Again, your final score today, the Shepherd women's basketball team falls to Charleston 85-71. We'll be back with some stats and analysis next. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center again. Final today. It was 85-71. Charleston getting the win in this one. Shepherd drops to 3-2 on the season, while Charleston picks up win number 4. All right, Matt, opening thoughts on this one. Let's start with the victorious Charleston squad.
Well, I tell you, I thought they played very well on the defensive end of the floor. They forced 19 turnovers out of the Rams. Clearly, they out-rebounded Shepherd, especially on the offensive end. And with the actual totals in front of us, it was a 30-18 rebounding edge. And they split those rebounds in half. 15 on the offensive end, 15 on the defensive end, and you just got to like the way they played in the second half. It was a 4-point game at the intermission, right? They come out and outscore Shepherd by 13 in that third quarter, ballooned that lead up to 17, eventually got it up to as much as 20, and Shepherd, while they tried to mount a rally, just had dug themselves too deep a hole.
And you look at, it was really a tale of 2 quarters in that second half. Shepherd didn't play overly well in that third quarter, but did come out pretty strong in the fourth. Got the press working a little bit, were able to get some big turnovers. It was too little, too late. And looking at Shepherd, just again, it was what you said in regards to Charleston. It was a tale of 2 halves. Shepherd right in it going into halftime, only a 4-point game. But we said they would need to get a lot more people involved in the second half, and they just couldn't. And Charleston played extremely well in that second half, go on to the big victory.
Oh, and look at the personal fouls. Shepherd commits 25 fouls, ultimately sending Charleston to the line 29 times, and they made 24 of those. Shepherd, 13 of 18 from the line, but you break that down and go, that's 11 more points for Charleston than Shepherd from the line. Add in that the Golden Eagles made 9 threes compared to Shepherd's 4, and so you take those 5 additional threes and add 15 more points in that regard, and well, that's how you end up with a victory by 14 points in the end, 85-71.
And again, we'll have to go back and look at the detailed stats at some point and look at how many second chance points that Charleston got, because it had to have been upwards of 20.
Well, when you get 15 offensive rebounds, you expect you're getting some points out of that. Speaking of points, believe it or not, it was Roziah Farrington who ended up leading the way for Charleston with 23 points. I would have swore it would have been Brooklyn Pinnell, but she finished with 22.
A modest 22.
Including 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. Also in double figures, it was Anna Hayton with 12 and Deanna Sanders added 11 for Shepherd. 3 players went in double figures. Sydney Clayton leading the way with 21 points. Carrie Langford added 15 and Kayla Tibbs 14 points in the loss.
There it is. Again, Charleston will improve to 4-1 on the season. Shepherd falling to 3-2, but still a very good start. This was home game 5 of 6 to start the season for Shepherd, so one more home game before they hit the road. All right, before we take a 10-minute break before the guys' game, as they are out shooting warm-ups right now, let's take a look at how some finals look around the Mountain East Conference in women's basketball. It was Notre Dame over UVA-Wise, 64-53. Concord over Urbana, 96-87. Still in action in the fourth quarter. It's going to be West Virginia State 82 and Fairmont State 76. So that game with about a minute left looks like West Virginia State's going to go on for that one. A game that is final. West Liberty over Wesleyan, 86-63. And boy, did Glendale have a really, really good game going so far. They're still in the third. 99-60 over Wheeling Jesuit. That game not even in the fourth yet. So that's how everything ended up with the games happening today in the Mountain East Conference. Again, we're going to take about a 5 to 10 minute break. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the guys game coming up next. Matt and I will switch roles here. He'll take over the play-by-play for the guys game, and I will be handling color commentary. Again, we apologize for those watching on TV 10 and WRNR TV with the scoreboard malfunctions throughout the first half. Again, stick with us. Still in the infancy stages of doing these broadcasts. We will try to get those fixed just as quickly as possible. Will not have them for the guys game, however, so we'll try to keep you updated on the score and time left as much as we possibly can. Again, final here.
We welcome you back into the Butcher Athletics Center. We are on the campus of Shepherd University in historic Shepherdstown, West Virginia, where tonight it is a Mountain East Conference men's basketball matchup as the Shepherd University Rams entertain the Golden Eagles out at the University of Charleston from the state capital of West Virginia. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Glad that you could join us here tonight on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. You might be watching us as well through the Shepherd Ram website or the Mountain East Conference website. Plenty of ways that you can get the audio and video of this one as we bring you the action with the Rams and the Golden Eagles. And Matt, a matchup today between two teams who are both 3-1 and have kind of taken the same road to get here, if you will.
Yeah, both teams are playing extremely good basketball right now. I think both coaches, especially talking to Coach Justin Amlick throughout the season, I know on the Shepherd side at least, this is a young Shepherd team. He was talking at the beginning of the season when we had the chance to talk at the media day about how nice it was to be home for this first stretch of the season. Again, the first 5 of 6 the first 6 of 7 are at home, and then they go on the road for a couple. But a young team here and a tough schedule. It hasn't been an easy beginning part of this schedule for Shepherd. You look at it at Millersville in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. They got to win in there. Gannon, also a team they're going to be facing quite a bit in the near future. Virginia Union, and then fell to West Virginia State in their first Mountain East Conference opponent, but still a not easy road to start their season, and they're 3-1, looking to pick up win number 4 tonight.
Well, Charleston in a similar fashion won their first 3 games, defeating Bowie State 89-75 and Seton Hill 100-76 after a victory at Davis and Elkins 99-68. Next up came a loss at Fairmont State 99-96 was the final, but that's a pretty good effort against a traditionally very good Fairmont State program.
Yeah, Fairmont State not missing any beats this year, the favorite to win the Mountain East, I think, by a lot of people. And this is a Shepherd team that may have been disrespected a little bit when you look at those preseason rankings. A little bit lower than what they finished last year, a extremely good finish last year, finishing 4th. So it'll be interesting to see how Shepherd continues as this Mountain East Conference schedule continues to evolve, and this is the last year in the Mountain East Conference for Shepherd. They're trying to take advantage of every opportunity they have against Mountain East opponents.
Well, Patty Alter, the voice of the Shepherd Rams in football and men's basketball, announcing the lineups, getting it started for the University of Charleston, and then will come the Shepherd University Rams. For the University of Charleston, Drew Rackley is a junior guard. He goes 6'2". Devin Robinson is a 6'4" junior forward. Josh Floyd, a 6'4" guard. And Adam Traore is a 6'6" forward. And the last player that came off the bench still had not taken off his warm-up jersey. We'll give you his name in just a moment.
That's no excuse.
I know. Let's turn our attention to the Shepherd University Rams. Their lineup being introduced right now. And starting at guard will be 6' junior Thomas Lang. Joining him at a guard position is 6'1" senior Derek McKnight. Then 6'3" senior Devin Smith, also a starting guard. Malik Sanders, a 6'6" junior, will start at guard as well. He is listed. And then Winston Burgess, a 6'6" senior, will be the starting forward. So that is a look at the lineups as we get ready for the opening tip. The University of Charleston decked out in the maroon uniforms with the gold lettering and trim, while the Shepherd Rams have kind of the old gold uniforms with the blue lettering and gold and white trim.
Well, looking at some stats here, total points per game, the big stat you're going to talk about at this point in the season. Shepherd scoring about 76 a game while giving up about 72 a game, while Charleston, their offense is pretty explosive. Through 4 games, they're averaging 95 points a game, but also giving up 80.
Yeah, that's the thing that caught my attention, is that point differential, what they've been scoring and what they've been allowing. They've been pretty good on the defensive end. By the way, that 5th and final starter for Charleston, Seth O'Neal, a 6'1" sophomore guard. We are ready for the opening tip as the ball goes into the air, and it is Winston Burgess tipping it into the backcourt, and let's see, it will go out of bounds and will belong to Shepherd. Shepherd. At least that's the initial indication. Now two officials will get together, and I think they made the right call. That clearly went out off of Burgess.
And, Matt, if you're Thomas Lang there, grab the basketball. I never understood that when players assume something and let the ball bounce out of bounds. If you're Thomas Lang, it bounced right in front of your face and you let it drop. Grab the ball. You're the guard. Take it up the court. Start the game.
Yeah, had that opportunity, but elected to let it go, and ultimately it cost him as Charleston now has the opening possession. The Rams starting out in his own defense, and the shot out top taken by Adam Traore out of New York, and he knocks that one down to make it a 3-0 lead for Charleston. Now Ram basketball, working against a man-to-man defense. Nice drive down the right side of the lane by Derek McKnight, but was stripped of the ball, and it goes off his leg and out of bounds. And the Rams turn it over on their first possession.
That fifth starter for Charleston, by the way, number 23, Seth O'Neal, the sophomore guard from Columbus, Ohio, 6'1". So a three-guard offense for Charleston here to start the game.
In the lane, Adam Traore, he will put up the shot, did not get it to go, and now a traveling violation as Devin Robinson pulled down the rebound and then walked before getting off a shot. By the way, I need to stand corrected. The first shot was Seth O'Neal with that three from beyond the arc. I believe I said Traore. I looked at the number 13 on my roster instead of the number 23. Ram basketball down 3-0. On the wing left side, McKnight backs it out between the center circles. Burgess setting the screen, now rolls towards the basket. They have a mismatch there, and the Rams will try to get it to Winston Burgess. Along the right baseline, a double team comes, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Looks like that personal will go on Devin Robinson, the junior forward out of Cleveland, Ohio.
And that ball's got to get to Winston Burgess a lot quicker than that. He is about 6 inches taller than the defender on him right there, so that ball's got to get down to him quicker than that.
Shot clock at 15 seconds after the inbound. The Rams do go low post right side to Winston Burgess. His 5 to 6 foot jumper short off the iron, and the rebound controlled by Robinson. Back the other way, Charleston with the ball, still holding on to that 3-0 lead. The Rams switching things up now defensively, going into a man-to-man. Josh Floyd on the right side of the floor. Nice dump feed down low. Found the open Traore, and he will lay it up and in for his first 2 points. It's 5-0 Charleston.
And Thomas Lang in unfamiliar territory down there. The guard playing right underneath the basket, trying to play defense. An unfamiliar area for a lot of guards, having to defend that low down in the post.
Burgess with his back to the basket, left of the lane, was too far out, had to get rid of it. Now Devin Smith starts to drive. His pass to Saunders out top, knocked away, but the loose ball grabbed by McKnight. Down to 5 on that shot clock. McKnight with a drive strip to the ball. Loose ball grabbed the other way. It's Robinson passing ahead to Floyd. A little hesitation move, now drives the baseline. Shot rejected. Sanders able to get a hand in there and block that would-be reverse layup. And now the Rams the other way. Burgess had his shot blocked by Robinson. Seemed to be some contact. No foul called. And it will go out of bounds, still belonging to Shepherd.
Seemed to be some contact not only on Burgess, but Thomas Lang getting the offensive rebound. Looked to maybe get some arm contact there too, but neither one was called. It's still Shepherd Ram basketball.
Lang out top, and we'll have, let's see, an offensive foul as Devin Smith started to drive and then kicked to his right, and Smith ran into a defender and picks up his first foul.
Coach Justin Namlick not too happy with the officiating so far, making sure they know that he believed there was a foul at the other end of the floor.
Slow start for Shepherd as we are almost 3 minutes into this one, and it's 5-0. The Rams have yet to get anything going offensively so far. O'Neal driving left baseline, kicks out top to Rackley. His three ball up and good. And just like that, 8-0, a pair of three-pointers as both O'Neal and Rackley have knocked them down.
Well, right now, Shepherd started the game with their bigger offense, 6'6" guys down low, and Charleston came out in a smaller three-guard offense. And right now, Shepherd not able to get the ball down low where they have those mismatches, and Charleston's doing a good job of using their small outside perimeter lineup to get easy shots on the outside so far.
That was McKnight with a three ball from the left wing and rolled around the rim and out. Charleston the other way, but the steal in the lane for Devin Smith. And now it belongs to the Rams, still trailing 8-0, 16:22 to play here in our first half. Shepherd still looking for their first bucket. Lang beyond the arc, takes a dribble to his left, was looking down low for Burgess, stripped to the basketball. Traore with it into the lane. He loses it as Sanders helped to knock it away. Traore regains control, and Charleston sets up. Traore out top, 3-ball on the way, he got it. Wow, 3 threes in the early going for this Charleston team to open an 11-0 lead.
And right now you see Coach Namlick going to his bench. Expect more perimeter-style players. I see a couple of guards getting ready to check in. Right now, getting the ball down low is not working again, even though there's a clear mismatch down low for Shepherd right now.
And the Rams have not been able to take advantage, trying to get it down low to Winston Burgess. They get it to him right of the lane. He squares up, now spins baseline, banks it up and in. Tough shot for Winston Burgess, but he gets it to go, and the Rams are on the board with 15:24 to play in the half, now trailing 11-2.
And again, being guarded there by number 23, Seth O'Neal, 6'1". Winston Burgess comes in at 6'6". You have to be able to get the ball down low on those mismatches.
O'Neal with a drive, able to feed underneath to Devin Robinson. His shot would not go, but out of bounds off of the Rams. May have been Winston Burgess the last to touch it. It'll stay with Charleston with 12 on the shot clock.
A couple of guards coming in. John Preston, 6'3", freshman, and Cam Stevens out of Bunker Hill, West Virginia, the Musselman Appleman graduate coming in the guard. He's a sophomore.
Inbounds pass going to Rackley, driving along that right baseline. Underhand scoop shot good, and it's 13-2. Right now Charleston having their way early on.
It'll be interesting to see how Shepherd's going to adjust their game plan here with a smaller lineup. Winston Burgess, the only big man in there now, so pretty evenly matched size-wise on both ends of the court.
Smith with it on that left wing, trying to get it to Burgess down along the baseline. Ball poked away and stolen. Even if you get it to Burgess, he's a pretty good ways away from the basket there. Not sure that's where you want to get it to him. And on the other end, that's Seth O'Neal from the right corner with yet another 3-ball. 16-2, the lead for Charleston. Thomas Lang coming to the near sideline into the front court, turns to the official and calls for the timeouts.
Seth O'Neal only a 23% three-point shooter coming into this game, and right now he's shooting the ball lights out. Again, O'Neal so far this year only averaging about 11 points a game. He is well on his way to breaking that average.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
We are back once again here at the Butcher Athletic Center. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. The Shepherd Rams off to a slow start in this one. Charleston with the 16-2 lead. Coming out of that Ram timeout, Shepherd basketball. They shoot at the hoop to our right. Inbounds working to Cam Stevens. Backdoor cut, bounce feed for Thomas Lang. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Double teamed it down along the baseline, threw it out top, and it was stolen. Charleston's the other way. On that far wing, Floyd giving to Rackley. Gets to the top of the key. Checking into the lineup is Timu Tumanoff. Tumanoff giving that one off to Floyd. Floyd, foul line extended right side, could not get the jumper to go. Shepherd back the other way. Need a score here. Lang on this right wing beyond the arc. Gives a ball fake on a pass. Now gives it down low to Winston Burgess. He spins baseline. Put it up a little too strong. Lamont McManus with the rebound. Charleston the other way. Yeah, nothing going well right now for Shepherd.
I think Burgess was definitely expecting some contact there when he spun because that was way too hard off the backboard.
Rackley out top to O'Neal on this left wing. Started right, comes back left, forces up the shot and got it to go over Cam Stevens.
Was O'Neal having himself a good start to this game or what? He's knocking him down from outside, and then you see him lower his shoulder and be physical inside.
Yeah, nice drive, tough shot. It really wasn't bad defense by Stevens. The 6'4" sophomore was right in his face. Smith from the right wing, 3-ball up and good. Just what the Rams needed as the 6'3" senior out of Baltimore, Maryland, able to knock it down.
They needed that in the worst way possible. Again, you never want to be down 16 points this early in the game, and so far almost 8 minutes into this game, and Shepherd's only got 5 points to show for it. The offense needs to step up big here.
18-5 is the lead right now for Charleston, and they'll go down low to Lamont McManus, called for the offensive foul, trying to back down Winston Burgess. He bumped into Burgess and knocked him over.
Again, Shepherd may be switching. Now they're switching big man as Winston Burgess will come out, but number 25, Emmanuel Agayare, coming into the game. I believe he's got the nickname Tank.
Well, and rightfully so. 6'5", 285. Freshman out of Reston, Virginia, South Lakes High School. Ram basketball in the offensive end. Stevens on this right wing. Around the screen, set by the Tank. Dribbles down into that right corner, pulls up for the three. Shot wouldn't go. Aguirre tipping that rebound, but ultimately controlled by Rackley into the front court. Pass into that right corner. Thinking about that three was Traore, and then as he tried to make a move in, had to turn and come back out and lost it out of bounds.
And I understand Shepherd really needs points right now, but settling for a fadeaway three in the right corner for Cam Stevens, I'm not sure the smartest basketball decision.
The Rams in the offensive end still trailing 18-5, 12 minutes exactly left in our first half of play. Aguirre back to the basket right of the lane, works hard into the paint, shot didn't go, but he tips his own miss up and in.
Great job following his shot, using his size to wedge himself in between two defenders and then not having to come down with the basketball, just tipping it up like he's playing a game of 21.
Does he look like a freshman out there?
He looks like a linebacker.
Charleston in the front court, and it's a moving screen that is called on Lamont McManus as he tried to set that screen to allow Rackley to work around him. He got caught still moving, knocking a Ram defender over, and that's a turnover on the offensive foul.
And Shepherd getting into a little bit of a rhythm here. They can use these turnovers, use these offensive fouls, take smart shots at the other end of the court.
Dwayne Osborne, head coach for Charleston, didn't seem too happy with that one.
Osborne in his 6th season at the helm of Charleston, a 92-62 record.
He has done a very excellent job with this Golden Eagles team. A foul away from the basketball down low in that battle with Emmanuel Aguirre and Lamont McManus. And McManus is the one who gets called with the personal. That'll be his second.
So we mentioned that Dwayne Osborne, his 6th season at the helm for Charleston, as the refs get together to figure out the number on the foul there. Coach Namlick, the head coach for Shepherd, in his 11th season at the helm. Hard to believe he's been here 11 years in Shepherdstown.
Yes. Kyle Daggett triggering the inbounds as he is now in the Ram lineup. 18-7 the lead for Charleston. Nearing 11 minutes to play in our first half. Sanders back out there, McKnight out there as well, and we'll have a shot clock violation as the Rams weren't aware on that inbounds of just how much time was left and got caught still trying to work their offense.
And while you're going to blame the people on the court for that, obviously you had a situational awareness. You didn't hear anything from the Shepherd bench or the Shepherd coaching staff, and a lot of times that is how the players on the court will know that shot clock is running down.
Charleston getting Robinson back out there. Also on the floor for the first time, Keith Williams. He's got it out top, giving off to O'Neal, penetrates into the lane. Oh my goodness, floats that one up and in, draws contact, and he is going to go to the line for the and one. Wow.
O'Neal was making his presence felt here early, and we thought he was just going to be an outside specialist, but using the not big body but the thick body for his height to get down low and make a few things happen as he misses that foul shot.
Malik Sanders with the rebound. Yeah, O'Neal goes 6'1". He's coming out of Fork Union Military Academy to the University of Charleston. And again, we're going to get a foul away from the ball as Aguirre draws that personal from Keith Williams, who's trying to battle with a big fella, low post left side.
And Coach Osborne not overly thrilled with the officiating so far. Maybe not overly thrilled with the fouls and the locations they are down low.
20-7 the lead for Charleston. 10.5 minutes to play in our first half. Ram basketball, and now we're going to get an offensive foul on Aguirre from the underneath official. So a lot of pushing and shoving, trying to get that position down low, and now on the other end of the floor, Justin Namalik not real excited.
Winston Burgess will enter the game again for Shepherd. Aguirre will exit and find his place back on the bench.
The Rams need a stop here. Traore out front, may have gotten away with the travel, gets it off to Rackley on that cut to the basket along the right angle, layup good off the glass. 22-7 Charleston.
Again, Shepherd's got two 6'6" guys down low right now in Daggett and Burgess. There cannot be all the inside points that are being scored right now in the paint.
Drew Rackley getting a foot on that pass, kicked it out of bounds, and that will lead to a timeout on the floor. We've got 9 minutes, 57 seconds remaining here in our first half. And we'll go ahead and take a break. You're listening to and watching Shepherd Rams basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Back again here at the Butcher Athletic Center along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller. Shepherd Rams basketball. The Rams are trailing 22-7 as Charleston has come out shooting well on the offensive end and playing solid defense. Rams still trying to get something going. Thomas Lang controlling that dribble after the inbounds. Around the screen set by John Preston. The Rams work to Burgess on that left baseline. Back out top to Lang. His 3-ball on the way. Got it. Thomas Lang. He's pretty good from out there at 38%, a 3-point shooter. Maybe that'll help get him and this Ram offense going now trailing 22-10.
Yeah, Shepherd really needed that. Needed to get into double digits. It's still a 12-point deficit. But Shepherd definitely taking a step in the right direction the last couple drives offensively. As an air ball there.
Yeah, Devin Robinson was trying to answer from the left wing, and, well, no answer. The Rams the other way. Lang left side. His 3-ball up and good. There it is. Back-to-back threes for Thomas Lang.
And this is a Shepherd team that can score quickly. We saw that just 2 games ago, and we were down here last week about this time. And this is a team that can score quickly and score at will when they get the ball rolling. So they needed those 2 big threes, and from one of their big guys, Thomas Lang.
22-13 is the lead now for Charleston. O'Neal out top with a ball fake, penetrates into the lane, puts it up with the left hand, rattles off the glass in the rim. Nice job, John Preston, to battle and get that rebound. Ahead to Sanders on this near wing to Lang, driving baseline right side. Shot was blocked, but there is contact and a foul, and 2 free throws are coming for Lang.
That was a great cut by Thomas Lang, and even more phenomenal pass by Malik Sanders. Sanders is 6'6" guard, as he is technically put in there, but you don't see a lot of guards that are 6'6", but a great pass by Sanders and a great recognition of where he was on the court by Lang to cut to the basket.
Foul on Traore will be his first. Team foul number 6, and Lang at the line, able to put that one up and through. As a free throw shooter, 85% coming in, has knocked down 11 of 13. Second one on the way. This one good as well.
Shepherd showing impressed now.
Yeah, cutting into that deficit. Still waiting for points to be put up on that scoreboard. Did I miss something? It still says 22-15. In the front court, O'Neal giving it off on that far wing to Rackley. Down to 10 seconds on that shot clock. Out top, Robinson giving on the left wing to Floyd. His three, an air ball, too strong, and as the ball's going out of bounds, we've got a whistle and a foul, and the personal goes on Thomas Lang, apparently trying to box out, knocked down a Charleston player.
Not sure what boxing out was being done down there, if that was the purpose. That was on the inside part of the basket, and the ball was airballed to the backside, so nowhere near the balls. That was shot well over the basket.
Boy, how costly is that? 3 seconds left, and that's an air ball going out of bounds. It would have been Ram basketball. Instead, Charleston has it. Nice hesitation move at the foul line, and then the feed to Trayor. That's Josh Floyd who instigated that, as he'll get the assist and Trayor will get the basket.
Yeah, Malik Sanders left his feet there at the top of the key. You need to stay on the ground there and just make sure you get a hand up. When you leave the ground, it leaves a wide open lane for somebody to drive, and a great drive by Derek McKnight, the basket, and he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Like to see that. McKnight with that little opening, able to get to the rim. Cuts that deficit to 24-17 with 7:48 to play in our first half. McKnight's free throw on the way, and it is good. From the line, and 90% foul shooter coming in. Almost a turnover in the backcourt, and it is. O'Neal's pass stolen by Thomas Lang. Lang drives it to the basket and lays it in, and Shepherd is within 4.
Yeah, just like that, a 4-point game. We said it coming out of the break. Shepherd can score quickly and at will when they get the momentum on their side, and that's just what they're doing right now.
Devin Robinson just across midcourt, almost had the ball stripped, was able to get it to O'Neal.
Shepherd on a 10-2 run right now.
See if they can keep it going with a defensive stop. Rackley well beyond the arc on that right side, pulls up off the dribble. It is off the rim in the backboard, and the rebound to McKnight. He's going to bring it up the floor himself. The Rams with a chance to get to within 1. McKnight, nice drive down the right side of the lane, and the English off the window as it rolls around and goes in.
Great job by Derek McKnight as the press again for Shepherd. O'Neal's finding it hard to get out of the backcourt.
Lob feed ahead now to Floyd.
But again, a great job by Derek McKnight, and Shepherd's offense is now firing on all cylinders as the bench and the crowd getting into it here at the Butcher Center.
Yeah, nice run by this Rams team. Let's see if they can keep it going. Floyd with a drive down the right baseline. Shot wouldn't go, but yep, should be an offensive goaltend.
Offensive goaltending, as I'm trying to get a number. It looked like number 13 on that one. Adam Trayor, thank you, sir. Adam Trayor went up as he was going to try to finish it with the dunk with the offensive rebound, but the ball had already gotten outside the cylinder and he touched the rim. That is an offensive goaltending. Shepherd has a chance to tie it on this possession or even take the lead with a three-pointer.
On that far side, Smith beyond the arc, holding on to it, and now we have a whistle away from the ball, and we'll have a foul that goes on Josh Floyd, and Floyd comes away limping.
Yeah, favoring that left leg a little bit. I don't know if he got his ankle twisted up, but looks like he will come out of the game, and a sub coming to the scorer's table. Coming in will be number 4, Jeremiah Berg.
Actually, that's Keith Williams, right? 4 is Keith Williams?
Yep, sorry, I looked at the wrong number there. Keith Williams coming in out of the game.
Yeah, Berg is 3, because we were looking earlier. He's actually on the stat sheet twice with 2 different first names. That's the only reason I knew that. Lang makes the first free throw.
He's got an alter ego.
I said, they must be twins as I'm looking. Then you start looking down the roster and realizing they both wear the number 3. Not even twins can wear the same number. Lang able to get them both, and don't look now, but we are tied at 24. The Rams have come all the way back. 6:14 still to play in our first half. Now Shepherd's got to keep it up. Can't let up now that it's tied. Big possession here for Charleston. They'll try to go down low, and yep, they hit the wide open Lamont McManus, and he lays it up and in.
One rule for a big man, be in between the shooter and the basket, and Winston Burgess let Jordan roll around there a little bit.
Well, there's a lob feed down low from McKnight to Burgess. It tipped off Burgess's hands and then ultimately went up and in. And now McKnight's going to get called with a foul at three-quarter court as he reached in to try to knock a pass away from Devin Robinson.
You don't think that's the way that Coach Namlick drew that up on the whiteboard? Lob inside, go off the fingertip and in?
I mean, you can call it an alley-oop, right? I mean, you design and draw those alley-oops, but no, that was not the case.
I'm not sure you're calling that an alley-oop.
So it will belong to Charleston. They will inbound. They're still in their back courts. 5:39 to play in our first half, tied at 26. Williams giving out top to Rackley. Around to O'Neal on this left wing. Though again, lob down low to McManus. Good help defense from John Preston. McManus with a tough shot that rolls off the rim and goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Shepard.
And you called it John Preston, good help defenses. Once again, Winston Burgess not playing very tight down low. He's allowing McManus to get that quick spin move and then be right underneath the basket. You got to plant your feet, get a little bit wider of a base if you're Burgess.
McKnight driving down the left of the lane, spun to his right, but left that shot short.
And very close to a travel, so I think he got an extra step and a half on that.
McManus cleared that rebound. O'Neal in the front court. To Rackley. And now on that right side of the floor, that's Williams. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Williams with a left-hand dribble into the lane, giving to O'Neal in the left corner in a double dribble. O'Neal says, no, I didn't dribble it. It went off my hand as I was trying to catch the pass, but the official calls it a double dribble, a turnover, and it will belong to the Rams.
I thought, if anything, they were going to call a palm or a carry on that more than anything, more than a double dribble, but still, Shepherd Ram basketball tied at 26.
Well, and as we go into the break, Ram head coach Justin Namlick talking with the officials. Not sure what he was seeing at the other end, but wanted to make sure that he let them know about it. All right, let's take a break. We've got 4 minutes and 48 seconds to play in our first half, and we step aside now, tied at 26.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Back again here at the Butcher Center with 4:48 to play in our first half, tied at 26. Charleston got off to the fast start, opened up a double-digit lead, but the Rams have responded, and now a tie ball game as we go through the final few minutes of this first half. Ram basketball shooting at the hoop to our right. Lang giving on the wing, right side to Preston, back out to Lang. 13 seconds on that shot clock. Between the circles, very long three, and it's short off the iron, and O'Neal grabs that rebound on a bounce off the floor. Lang can make him from out there, not outside of his range, but just didn't quite get the legs into that one.
I think that was more of a heat check than anything, too. Thomas Lang has hit a couple threes here in the first half.
Bounce feed down low, intended for McManus. Nice hands by Winston Burgess to poke that one away and out of bounds.
Looks like Shepard going back to a smaller lineup. Winston Burgess, the big man, in for Shepard right now as the only big man down low.
Traore back in as McManus gets a breather for Charleston. O'Neal with that inbounds, working to Rackley. Rackley averages over 30 minutes a game. He is their workhorse, and he just got fouled on a kind of step-back shot from straight away. 2 free throws will be coming. That foul is on Thomas Lang, the 6-foot junior out of Newmarket, Maryland. Linganore High School, not far from here. Foul shot up, foul shot good. O'Neal pretty good from the line, 79%, 22 of 28 coming in. Second free throw, he got it as well. It's a 2-point lead for Charleston, in front 28-26.
Like that 12 for 15 coming in.
What was it?
12 for 15 coming in.
I looked in the wrong column, eh?
It's all right. We've all been there.
Out top, McKnight now drives down the right side of the lane and has his shot thrown out of there by Devin Robinson.
And he got up to smack that ball away. It looked like a volleyball serve, but McKnight was trying to drive on 2 defenders, and he's got to realize there's 2 defenders there. Somebody is open.
Only a couple of blocks through 4 games coming in for Robinson, but that one was pretty impressive. Now, while the block did occur from Robinson, there was a foul on Josh Floyd, and that will send McKnight to the line where he cannot connect. This free throw rattles out no good.
Looking at the free throw percentage for Derek McKnight, coming in 19 for 21, 90% on the season, so a rare miss for McKnight.
He didn't like it either. You could see that reaction, frustrated that he didn't get it to go. This one is up and through.
When you're 90%, you usually don't miss 2 in a row.
So 28-27, Shepherd down by 1. Charleston with the lead and the ball. 3.5 minutes left in our first half. Williams out top to Rackley on this left wing. He'll give to Robinson, driving baseline, kicks out in the corner. Williams from the right side, 3-ball too strong. Trayor backside rebound. Nice defense. Winston Burgess wouldn't let him get the shot in the paint. He'll pass back out to Rackley, and Charleston resets.
And Winston Burgess not playing very physical down low so far.
Rackley with a nice drive floats it in.
Really getting abused down there, not necessarily body type wise, but just not moving his feet and allowing guys to out hustle him down low.
30-27 now, that lead for Charleston, and a foul as McKnight made his move along that left wing. And that personal will go on Keith Williams. That'll be the 3rd on Williams as they put it up on the scoreboard, and that will send Derek McKnight to the line. And the foul shot up and good. Always amazes me how quiet this facility gets for a free throw. I understand it because it's a Shepherd player shooting, but on the other end, I'd expect there to be more noise.
About half capacity crowd here at the Butcher Center tonight as McKnight knocks down his 2nd free throw.
Yeah, not bad considering this is the Monday of Thanksgiving week. So student body already heading home. In fact, when we ran into women's head coach Jenna Eckleberry on the way in, she said all her players already had the car packed, right? Ready to go.
A lot of them probably on their way home already.
Checking into the lineup is Jeremy Berg, and Berg driving the right baseline as his shot thrown out of there by Winston Burgess.
I guess Burgess heard me. Again, maybe quiet enough he could hear me talking about not moving his feet enough, not being quite physical enough down there. And that time, used his feet, moved, got in good position, and used that height and the long arms to get that block.
30-29, the lead for Charleston. Inbounds pass from the baseline out front, knocked out of there by John Preston. Good defense by the Ram, a freshman guard out of Brandywine, Maryland. Rock Creek Christian, where he went to school. O'Neal has it out top. 5 seconds on that shot clock. He fires the long 3. It's off the back rim, and we've got a foul. And will we get a technical or not? Wow. I wondered as Trayor got called with that foul, had the ball in his hands, and kind of very abruptly bounced it right up into the official. The official was ready to make the call, wasn't ready for the ball, and I thought he might get him.
Along with the spike, there was also, I think, a few words said as he was doing that may not be fit for children's ears.
Certainly body language in there as well. Either way, it's a personal, and Derek McKnight goes to the line where he puts it through to tie this one up. The Rams now in the double bonus. 10 fouls committed by Charleston. Shepherd so far committing 7.
How about a 21-8 run for Shepherd right now? They were down 22-10 at one point. now up 31-30.
In the backcourt, ball knocked away, and a foul going after that loose ball. And that one will go on the Rams. Preston picking up the personal. That will be his first. And we'll go to the other end of the floor where O'Neal will set up for the free throw. He's had a strong first half. Left hands this one up and through. Two good-looking teams right now that you've got to imagine have a chance to compete to go deep in this Mountain East Conference this year. Maybe a deep run into the conference tournament. Second free throw, no good, and we're tied 31 all. So O'Neal gets one of two. Cam Stevens on the floor, giving to McKnight on this right wing. Left hand dribble around a screen set by Burgess. Goes down low to Burgess for the two-hand flush.
And something beautiful right there. Winston Burgess is good for at least a couple of those a game, and he can get up and likes to rip the rim off if he can.
33-31, Shepherd now with a 2-point lead. How about this team not panicking in the early going? And now they've got a lead. Three-pointer from that right wing, in and out of the basket for Jeremy Berg, and Shepherd the other way. Nearing a minute and a half, and now under a minute and a half to play in this first half. McKnight off the dribble from just left of the key. Three ball off the rim in the backboard, and the rebound corralled by Robinson.
Not the shot you need there if you're Derek McKnight. Work the ball around, set up your offense. You have a chance to take a two-possession lead with just over a minute left in the half. Try to get in, work inside or work around the perimeter.
That was Rackley driving in on the right wing. Burgess may have got a piece of that shot, and the Rams the other way, and a feed down low to Burgess. That time the one-hand slam.
Well, he had two hands the first time. Wanted to make it a little fancier this time. The angle he was at just showed the pure vertical there and the strength. A one-handed slam, Winston Burgess.
35-31, and now that Ram lead, and a timeout taken by Dwayne Osborne, a head coach for the University of Charleston. Let's take a break as well. 49.2 seconds remaining in our first half. And your score, Shepherd 35 and Charleston 31.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Well, action back underway, and Seth O'Neal out front firing the long jumper for Charleston. Could not get it to go, and the Shepherd Rams are back the other way with 31 seconds left in our first half. About 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. So the Rams cannot hold for the final shot. McKnight on the right wing takes it down to the baseline, passes out on the left side for Smith. Three ball good. Devin Smith drains the three. 38-31 Shepherd. Back the other way. Rackley on that right side of the floor, spinning towards the basket. Offensive foul. Oh, that might be a tough call against Rackley as McKnight got there and drew just a little bit of contact. He went to the deck, and the offensive foul call gives it back to Shepherd with 7 seconds left in the half.
And basketball is a game of runs. Charleston definitely got the run at the beginning of the game, but to close out this half, it has been all Shepherd.
Inbounds to Cam Stevens up this near side. Stevens to the corner, three on the way. Off the rim of the backboard, did not go. The horn sounds, and we have reached the intermission. What an entertaining first half as Charleston raced out to the early lead. Shepherd rallies, and now it's the Rams in front by 7 as the teams head into the locker room. Let's take a break and then come back, and we will get into our halftime activities from here at the Butcher Center. You are watching Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. At the intermission, it's Shepherd with the lead, 38-31.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
To prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or perma material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
We welcome you back into the Butcher Athletics Center. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. You can catch it on the Ram website, shepherdrams.com. You can catch it as well on the Mountain East website at mountaineast.org. This is our first broadcast of Ram basketball, looking to do as many of the home games as we can fit into our busy schedule here during the course of this winter around our coverage of local high school boys basketball with the Martinsburg Bulldogs. And then looking to take this into the football season next year as well, to follow the Shepherd Ram football team into their first year in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. We're at the intermission, and it's 38-31, the lead for Shepherd. Matt, it did not look like the Rams would have a lead like this as this game got underway, as Charleston came out shooting red hot, and the Rams certainly did not.
Yeah, if you would have told me that Shepherd would be up by 7 at halftime, if you would have asked me that, I don't know, 5 minutes into the game, I'd have said there is not a chance in the world. But really, I mean, you talk about, look at the women's game, it's 4 quarters. If you were to break down the first half into 2 separate quarters, that's what this game has been. The first 10 minutes was really all Charleston. Yep. No other way of saying it, but in the second 10 minutes of this first half, it truly shifted, and Shepherd dominated all the way up and down the court. Again, at one point, it was 20-10. 22-10, actually.
Yes.
22-10 at one point, and Shepherd since then has scored 28 points compared to just 9 of Charleston. So you look at that run, that's a pretty impressive run they were on.
Yeah, absolutely, and they were getting it done on both ends of the floor. They got hot on the offensive end, knocking down shots. On the defensive end, forced some turnovers, and as well got it done on the boards. Chip Ransom, Sports Information Director at Shepherd, bringing us the stat sheet. So let's go ahead and break it down. Let's first look at team numbers, as Charleston shooting 46%, making 12 of 26 shots. 40% from beyond the arc, 4 of 10, and 60% from the foul line, 3 of 5. Shepherd shooting 54% in the first half, 12 of 22, 44% from beyond the arc at 4 of 9, and how about 10 of 11 from the line? That is 91%.
And how about the 90% free throw shooter? The only reason they're not shooting 100. Derek McKnight missing one, but all jokes, 90% from the line is phenomenal for a Shepherd team that a lot of times doesn't shoot very well from the foul line. And again, if you were to look at these stats, half by the other half of the half, I'm sure completely different numbers for each one of these teams, but you average it out, both that you see what our score is right now. It's a 7-point game, and Shepherd has that slight advantage on both the inside shots and shooting from the perimeter.
Yeah, rebounding very even. Shepherd 14 rebounds to Charleston's 12, while in turnovers, the Rams have committed 8 while forcing Charleston into 9 turnovers. Assist, 8 for Charleston, 7 for Shepherd. And as we break down some individual numbers, leading the Rams with 12 points, Thomas Lang. That includes 2 for 3 from beyond the arc and 4 for 4 from the line. Derek McKnight in double figures. He's got 10 points. He goes 6 of 7 from the line. 8 points for Winston Burgess, 6 for Devin Smith, and 2 for Emmanuel Aguirre. Meanwhile, for Charleston, 11 apiece for Drew Rackley and Seth O'Neal to lead the way. Add 7 for Adam Trayor. And then outside of that, only 2 points for Lamont McManus. They've had 5 other players spend at least a minute on the floor, but have not come up with any other points. They've got to find some other guys to score.
They do, and on the Shepherd side, you looked at the first name you mentioned was Thomas Lang, and you look at the run they went on to end that half. And it was Thomas Lang back-to-back threes that really sparked the offense, sparked the bench, and sparked this crowd to really get into this game. And again, that is where the first half started to turn, and you could see everything starting to click for Shepherd. They just can't lose that edge when they come back here in the second half.
So the Rams with a lead at 38-31. We are at the intermission here in this men's game. While we have a minute, Matt, let's go ahead and look back to the women's contest from earlier as the Shepherd women facing the University of Charleston. And it got off to a pretty good start for the Shepherd women. They were down by 1 after the first quarter, 16-15. Outscored in the second quarter, 17-14. So at that point, only down by 4 points. Look like, hey, they're right there. We even said as they were getting the second half started, let's see how the Rams can come out and if they can begin to quickly cut into this deficit, or whether Charleston can begin to separate themselves even more. And, well, it was the other way around there as Charleston was the one doing the separating, outscoring the Rams 29-16 in the third quarter. And Shepherd actually outscored Charleston in the fourth quarter 26-23, but Matt, too little too late as they fall by an 85-71 final.
Yeah, and the Lady Rams just couldn't get enough contributions from the rest of the team. They got a good bit of contributions from Sydney Clayton, from Langford, from a couple of different people at different times, but it never really seemed, especially in that second half, like they could get the entire team on the same page, especially in that third quarter, which is surprising coming out of halftime. That's usually when you're playing your best, you scheme up some new things. But it was surprising that for a team that came in at 3-1 and had been shooting the ball extremely well on the season. I mean, they are shooting the ball. They got to their season average today eventually, but it just seemed like, especially in that second half, they never could get all 5 that were on the court working on the same page.
You mentioned Sydney Clayton. She led the way with 21 points for the Rams. Carrie Langford added 15, and Kayla Tibbs in double figures had 14 points. Meanwhile, for Charleston, 23 from, Razia Farrington, and then 22 from Brooklyn Pinnell, as they really led the way. 2 of 4 players in double figures, with Anna Hayton and Deanna Sanders rounding out the double figure scoring, as Hayton had 12 and Sanders added 11 to make 85 total points in all for this Charleston team. Both teams finished with 19 turnovers, but a real difference in the game. Rebounding, Charleston out-rebounding Shepherd 30-18, and 15 of those 30 were offensive boards.
Yeah, you said it right there. The offensive rebounds really killed Shepherd, and Pinnell on the Charleston side, she was all over the place on those offensive boards, and You give up 15 offensive rebounds, that's going to lead to at least 20 points most likely in most cases. So not an overly strong day on the glass for Shepherd. But again, still 3-2, still one more game in this homestand before they go out on the road. Again, both these teams playing 6 games at home, which is a big advantage and probably contributing to why both the men's and women's team got off to such a hot start they did.
We're at the half of the men's game, 38-31, the advantage for Shepherd. About 4.5 minutes before the teams will begin to tip off this second half. That gives us some time to see what else is going on around this Mountain East Conference.
A whole handful of games tonight. Let's get it started with Fairmont State and West Virginia State. 2:38 left in the first half, and it's West Virginia State up 33-28. Let's look at Glenville State and Wheeling Jesuit. At the half, it's Glenville State 57-43. I'll have to go back and look and see how many points that the Glenville State girls scored. They had 99 after 3 quarters of play. And one more game for 2 more games for you, actually. Notre Dame at the half over UVA-Wise 44-39. And one game that had finished earlier in the day, Urbana and Concord. I'm guessing because of the break, the women played at 1, the men played at 3. It was Concord 99 and Urbana 79. That's a score very similar to the girls' game, actually. It was right around that in the girls' game. And then Wesleyan and West Liberty are playing tonight. Can't get any stats on that game. By the end of the game, we'll try to get you some score on that game.
All right. Want to take a break and then come back? That'll give you a quick moment to see how that Glenville State women's game played out. I'm anxious to hear how many they scored as well. And when we return, we'll get you set up for our second half of action here. We are at the intermission at the Butcher Athletic Center, and it is Shepherd leading Charleston 38-31. It's Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
It's not bad for not promoting it really at all. You know what I mean?
Oh, and others are, you don't know what TV 10 looks like right now. Back again here at the Butcher Center, where the 2 teams are back out on the floor going through their warm-ups as we get you ready for the second half of action. 38-31 as Shepherd out in front. The Rams looking to improve to 4-1 on the season and pick up their first win in conference play. Charleston in that exact same boat. Both of these teams started 3-0 in non-conference play, and then Shepherd on Saturday suffered a setback at the hands of West Virginia State by an 88-80 final, while Charleston, after winning their first 3, lost at Fairmont State 99-96. So this really becomes a key game for both of these teams early on in the conference standings.
It does, and again, only a couple games into the conference standing for both of these teams. But in the Mountain East Conference, you're talking about the ACC of D2 or a Power 5 of the day. This is arguably year in and year out the best conference for Division II basketball, and Shepherd over the last couple years has put their name in that hat for being right behind the Wheeling Jesuits, the West Liberties, the Fairmont States, and Shepherd's been 4 or 5 the last couple years. They've put themselves in finally getting a win over a top 25 team last year. They got a win over Wheeling Jesuit last year later on in the season. So, and this team is deep. Something that you and I talked about when we got a chance to see this squad for the first time was how deep Coach Namlet could go, and with reliable guys off the bench. So this is one of the better Shepherd teams I've seen over the last 5 or so years.
Well, and they look to get even deeper. Jarrell Jones going to be able to join this team coming up after the holiday break, heading into the games in January, and he's going to add another presence on the floor as a guard. And you've got some guys who have been a little banged up as well, so let's see how this Ram team looks as they head into the second half of the season where they really get into conference play.
As a guy who was able to call Jarrell Jones in high school, what does he bring to this team that they're missing right now?
I don't know that he brings something maybe that they're missing, but he brings a guy that can get to the rim and can create shots for himself as well as create shots for others. He's got a nice outside shot as well, and hopefully will be adding to the defensive end of the floor for Shepherd. I think he can fit right in with the type of play that these Rams run right now in the rotation that they have. All right, looks like Sanders, Burgess, Lang, Smith, McKnight back out on the floor for Shepherd, and then Rackley along with O'Neal, Robinson, Trayor, and Floyd out there to get the second half started for Charleston. Ram basketball, they'll shoot at the hoop to our left here in this second half. Burgess with it along that right baseline to Sanders in the corner. 3 ball up and good. Nice looking shot for Malik Sanders.
And a good way to start the second half, not missing a beat from where they ended in the first half. Good to see the shots falling early for Shepherd.
Rackley on this right wing to O'Neal. Gives it back to Rackley on the left side of the floor. Backs his way in, got away with a push-off to get Thomas Lang out of there, and then Rackley able to put it up and in.
Yeah, Rackley extended that arm. That's why he was so wide open. I don't know how the refs aren't seeing that down low.
I think they saw it. They just let it go. The Mountain East
didn't feel the need to call it.
The Mountain East has always been a pretty physical brand of basketball. Smith out top, giving to Lang, top of the key. 3 up and good.
That is one of those shots you go, no, 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 no. Nice job, Thomas Lang. Nice shot. A contested three-pointer fading away. Good shot there for Thomas Lang. Not necessarily the highest percentage shot, but a good job getting it to fall for Thomas Lang.
Floyd driving the baseline, tries a reverse leg up, and Sanders able to block it, and it goes out of bounds off of Floyd.
And right now, again, Shepherd picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, they've pushed this lead out to 11, 44-33. The Rams in front, and they've got the basketball. 18:40 to play in this one.
I'd like to know what they might look like if they would have started this hot.
Yeah, figure for about 10 minutes of this game, they were about as cold as they could be. Smith penetrating into the lane, came to a jump stop. Looked on that right side, trying to get it out to Sanders, but Malik Sanders had already made a cut, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Well, Devin Smith got away with a walk, so turning the ball over. It should have been a turnover either way. He set his feet and slid another 2 or 3 feet.
The unforced error, and Charleston back the other way, trying to cut into this 11-point deficit, and they're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be a moving screen underneath. Adam Trayor called with that illegal pick.
Matt, something I'd like to see this second half is when Shepherd was trying to crawl back into the game in the first half, they used the press extremely well. And then once they got the lead, Coach Namlik backed off. I'd like to see that intensity on that press come back.
And we'll see at what point in this second half maybe he'll go to that. Rackley getting a hand in the passing lane, knocking it out of bounds on that far side. 3 fouls, by the way, on Trayor. He's going to sit down as McManus checks back into the lineup. Lang with it out top. Giving it off to Burgess at that high post. Back to Lang. 3 ball again on the way. This one off the rim of the backboard. Rackley the rebound. Outlet to O'Neal. Takes it up that far side of the floor where McKnight waits on him. McManus now to set a screen as the pass goes to Robinson at the top of the key. To Rackley on the right wing. Out top to McManus. He fires a pass down low, trying to get that one to Josh Floyd, but too much traffic in the lane. The pass high and out of bounds.
The only place McManus could put it without it getting deflected, so it was a good pass location-wise, just a little too much elevation.
So Lang into the front court, goes to Sanders at the high post. Oh, the backdoor cut down the right side of the lane for Derek McKnight, but could not handle the pass, and it goes off his hand out of bounds.
Pass was too good.
Yes. So Charleston the other way. A couple possessions now for each team with that lead still holding at 11, 44-33. The Rams in front. Rackley around a screen on the left wing, pulls up for three. They've got a whistle and a foul. That one will go on Thomas Lang. Let's wait and see. Was it a three or was it two? I think his feet may have been inside the line. Lang talking with the official. And it will be a two-shot foul. So
yeah, good call. Feet were definitely on the line.
Yep, was inside the line. Free throw up and rattles. In and out, no good. Drew Rackley. Normally an 80% foul shooter, 12 of 15 coming in.
Hit everywhere but the bottom of the net.
Second foul shot on the way. This one is good. There's a little of that noise I was waiting for.
Party of one on the noise.
There's the students at the bleacher end where they've got faces held up and all that fun stuff.
They're at home on Thanksgiving break.
I get it. Ram basketball. Cam Stevens has checked into the lineup. Former Musselman standout. Gives it off to McKnight. Lob feed down low. Winston Burgess lays it off the glass.
Would love to see Burgess get a little bit higher and throw that one down on the alley-oop, but take the points nonetheless. 46-34. Shepherd the lead now, under 17 to play.
Shepherd keeping up the strong play that ended the first half here in the second half. McManus down low, caught it on the right side, left side of the basket, made the shot on the right side of the basket.
And McManus took one dribble in about 8 steps, so I'm not sure where the no travel call is there, but definitely took a few more steps than he did dribbles.
May not have been 8, but
it was more than the allotted amount, let's put it that way.
Burgess on the left wing facing up, takes that big jump step into the lane and then puts it up with the right hand.
That is a phenomenal big man move there by Winston Burgess. You love watching the big guys be able to get that little bit of a hook shot in.
6'6", 200 pounds, the senior out of Colonial Forge High School in Stafford, Virginia. Boy, he has got elevation. Playing McManus in there defensively. McManus out into that right corner to O'Neal, but his three off the rim. Sanders the rebound. Outlet to McKnight, and the Rams come up the floor with the lead at 48-36. McKnight off the dribble, top of the key. Three wouldn't go. Rebound on the far side. Run down by O'Neal, and we'll get a foul. Winston Burgess a little late in getting over there. O'Neal beat him to the ball. There was just enough contact to knock O'Neal off balance, and the good call.
And you mentioned Winston Burgess, 6'6", 200 pounds. I don't know about you, but I was always waiting for the beef up a little bit with him. From the time he came in here, Burgess, now a senior, from the time he was about a sophomore on, maybe it was just me just waiting for the little bit of the bulkiness to come in, and it never did.
Never did. He's still pretty well defined out there when you look at the arms and chest. Just never quite added the weight you might have expected. Rackley on that left wing couldn't get it to go. McKnight the other way, takes it down the right side of the lane. Count it, and there's a foul.
Great take by Derek McKnight. Switched hands a couple times going down the court and then laid it up with the right hand, fighting through contact. Good job, Derek McKnight. Goes to the line, could get the old-fashioned three here.
And the Rams continue to pull away a little bit at a time. 50-36 the lead. And McKnight trying to add to it. Foul shot up and no good. Wow, he missed a pair now in this game. Rebound to Robinson. He'll give to O'Neal, who moves across midcourt.
Mark it on your calendars. Derek McKnight misses 2 free throws in a game.
Might be one of our This Date in Sports histories one day. Floyd with it on the right wing for Charleston. They shoot at the hoop to our right. To Rackley beyond the arc. Wants to get it to Robinson. Robinson facing up, drives in, has the ball poked away by Sanders. Loose ball picked up by McKnight. McKnight quickly down the floor, all the way to the rim. Passes out to Smith in the right corner. Smith, foul line extended right side. 15-footer rolls off the iron, and the rebound to Robinson.
I thought McKnight hit him about a second too late.
O'Neal from the left wing, his three short off the rim. Stevens clears the rebound. Long outlet down the floor to Sanders, to Burgess underneath. Burgess lets the defender go by, reverse layup good.
And once again, that's a phenomenal pass by Malik Sanders and good hesitation by Winston Burgess. But Sanders hits him just a second too late, so need to be a little crisper on the passes the last couple times up the court for Shepherd, but still playing extremely good basketball right now, 52-36.
Yeah, timeout on the floor taken by Dwayne Osborne, head coach for Charleston. We'll take a break as well, then come back to the Butcher Center with 14:25 left. Shepherd is out in front, 52-36.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
We're back again here at the Butcher Athletic Center, where it is all Shepherd. After about the 10-minute mark of the first half, the Rams have really taken charge in this one, out in front 52-36. But there's still 14:25 left. Don't go anywhere. This Charleston team will not go quietly, you know that.
It's a Mountain East Conference.
Yes.
Nobody's going to go quietly. A very high-powered offensive conference, not just in basketball, but just about across the board in every single sport. There's those one or two teams that are going to be able to put up offensive numbers like you don't see.
Well, and you said earlier, you know, basketball's a game of runs. It was Charleston who started on that run. Shepherd then had that big run to get back in and take a lead, and now they've continued that long run to stretch out a big lead. We've yet to see that second run, if you will, coming from Charleston.
Well, if you're Shepherd, you're hoping that it doesn't happen. A good takeaway there by Winston Burgess. That's what it was, a takeaway, not even quite a steal.
Yeah, just ripped it right out of the hands of Rackley, who got himself caught along that right baseline. I'm sure not what Coach Osborne drew up in the offensive huddle. McKnight into the lane, feeds underneath, Burgess one-hand stop. Oh, boy, nice take to the basket and then the dish for the big fella to score.
You said it perfectly. The dump off for Derek McKnight, and Winston Burgess once again just throws it down. And Coach Osborne, I'm not sure who exactly he was screaming at there. It looked like screaming right at the official, but haven't seen a reaction from any of the officials. I thought for sure he was screaming at the one official on the baseline.
I think he was fussing at one of his players as he called that timeout. We'll keep it here with 13:38 to play in this one. 54-36, the lead for Shepherd. A little bit of a break for the teams after tonight. We go into that Thanksgiving break, and I'm sure they'll get a chance to go home and spend some time with family, and the coaching staff will try to encourage them, don't eat too much, and try to get on a basketball court occasionally.
Is that possible?
On Thanksgiving?
Is that possible?
No, not on Thanksgiving Day. But nonetheless, the Rams will next be in action on the 28th. That will be next, Wednesday night, I believe it is. And that will be here at home against West Virginia Wesleyan. The next game after that is on December the 1st at Glenville State. The 5th at West Liberty. And then on December the 8th, they're back at home for a key matchup against Wheeling Jesuit. A non-conference game on December 17th, hosting Holy Family out of the Philadelphia area. And then the next time they play will be January 2nd, so a pretty lengthy break there for the Christmas holiday.
Yeah, always an interesting time in college sports when you have that leave for the holiday breaks and when they can fit games in, and you're in the middle of one right now, so you're going to have a break after this. And again, usually a lot more students here than this tonight, but everybody home getting that week off for Thanksgiving break, spending some much-needed time with family.
All right, action back underway out of that Charleston timeout. Let's see what Coach Osborne is able to set up. Robinson out top, driving into the lane, a reach-in foul, and 2 free throws coming as Devin Smith, the 6'3", senior guard for the Rams, got the hand in there, going for the ball, but caught him on the arm.
And a good, strong play by Robinson. Almost too strong. If he'd have gone a little bit lighter through the contact, probably could have gotten the basket along with the foul. So he knocks down his first free throw.
Robinson, a 75% foul shooter on the season. That cuts into that deficit, 54-37 the Ram advantage. 13:26 left. Second free throw up and good. And it's 54-38.
And the entire time that Robinson was at the foul line, Coach Osborne for Charleston in the ear of an official. So not happy about something.
Charleston went to some token three-quarter court pressure. Looked like they wanted to try to trap, but the Rams break it. And now work into the offensive zone where the pass far side, a little high for Cam Stevens. He leaped into the air, tipped it, and as he went to grab it, ended up stepping out of bounds.
And Preston Smith just not quick enough with his reads looking around. A lot of guys right in front of him. He's got to realize that the defenders are inside. Somebody's outside that you can kick it out to, and that person was Cam Stevens, but unfortunately, pass just a little too high.
Traore out top, right-hand dribble drive down the side of the lane, draws some contact. A whistle and a foul, and two free throws are coming as Emmanuel Aguirre will pick up the personal.
Not sure I buy that one. Looked like his arms were up and his feet were moving. Not sure if that's not part of what the conversation was with Coach Osborne.
Second foul on the tank, and Traore at the line, and the free throw comes off no good.
What's the line? The ball doesn't lie.
Second free throw. This one up and good as Traore, an 80% foul shooter, gets one of two. 54-39 that Ram advantage. Into the front court, Stevens. Off to Smith on that right wing. Now McKnight on the left side of the floor. Zone defense being applied, so the Rams go high post to Smith. Out to Preston on that right wing. Shot clock down to 10. McKnight straight away, three ball, rims out, no good. Stevens the rebound, low post left side, throws back out top, between two players, but a nice job by Devin Smith to reach out and grab it.
And a good offensive rebound by Cam Stevens.
Stevens now from the right wing, right in front of that Ram bench, fires that three, but it comes off the iron. Robinson the rebound, and O'Neal quickly up the floor for Charleston.
Shepherd losing a little bit of their effectiveness from beyond the arc over the last couple trips up the court. Missed their last three from beyond the arc and getting a little sloppy down low. You have three guys down low. You cannot commit that foul. Just make a triangle around him and play solid defense, get your hands up. There should not be a foul right there. Make him have to drive through you.
Yeah, Robinson getting that pass in the lane with his back to the basket. Drew contact, and that personal foul will be the third on Devin Smith. It's three straight trips where they've made a concerted effort to get into the lane. Maybe that is something Coach Osborne talked to them about in the timeouts. Sanders and Lang coming back in as Stevens and Smith get a breather. 11:59 left in this one. 54-40. Shepherd out in front. Free throw up and good. Robinson knocks it down. And I don't know about you, but I got an eerie feeling about that run that we've been waiting for Charleston as the double team at midcourt forces a loose ball and out of bounds, still belonging to Shepherd.
Well, the good thing about this lack of offensive production over the last couple minutes for Shepherd is that Charleston hasn't been able to capitalize to excess. They've been able to get a few baskets, but they've not really gotten on what you would consider a run quite yet. But Shepherd's got to find a way to get the ball in the basket. Maybe look for the big man down low here.
McKnight driving into the lane, giving it off to Lang. Lang down the left of the lane, losing his footing. It's a turnover as Traore came out of there with it, ahead to Smith on that left wing. Out top to Robinson. He'll drive to the basket, and an offensive foul that they call on the drive to the hoop. Wow. That is a tough call in the Charleston bench. Certainly not going to agree with that one, as Robinson will pick up his second.
Oh, very close to a backcourt violation and a turnover again.
And Rackley going to take it to the rim along the right side of the floor. He'll draw contact and a foul. And Justin Namalik, the Ram head coach, says, hey, we need to talk about it. A timeout on the floor.
A much-needed timeout for this Ram team.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 11 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in this one. Well, now they've got the clock started as we just chimed in. We'll see if they put it back to 11:02. It went down to 10:57 as we zoomed in on the clock. Let's take a quick break with the Rams in front, 54-41.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Well, they put some time back on the clock, all right, Matt. 11 minutes and 21 seconds on the clock as we come out of that Ram timeout. And Charleston will have Drew Rackley going to the line for a pair. 54-41, that Shepherd advantage. But here's that little run starting for the University of Charleston. Foul shot up and good for Rackley, the 6'2 junior out of Zanesville, Ohio. A family in the Zanesville, Ohio area on my dad's side.
Are they the Rackley family?
No, it is not. I don't know the Rackley family. Both free throws up and good, 54-43. That Shepherd lead dwindling down. They need a bucket this possession. Swinging around to Lang on the near side. Works down along the left baseline to Burgess. Into the lane. Gave a nice move to his right. Came back to his left. And the shot up and in. Great
up and under by Winston Burgess. Slips on his way back up the court on some slick hardwood there, but gets back, and that is a foul that's preventing a very easy layup again.
Yep.
Winston Burgess slipped after he made that layup, getting up off the ground. As right now you see some of the official crew taking care of that, but had to sprint back up the court, and that was just to prevent a wide open layup. So
yeah, Robinson was by himself under the basket.
What you look at is a smart foul in that.
Especially
scenario.
Considering, as you look at the scoreboard, only a second. So it's not like, he's in foul trouble. So you can go ahead and give that one to try to make Robinson earn it from the line. Now a squeegee job on the floor just to the right of the basket on the Charleston offensive end. Robinson now has the ball in hand and cannot connect.
Making that foul look even better.
Yep, foul shot off the back iron.
Again, Robinson, almost unmissable layup underneath of Burgess, does not commit that foul.
Traore heads out as Keith Williams checks back into the Charleston lineup. 13-point Ram lead, make it now a 12-point Ram lead as the second free throw up and good.
Charleston putting on a little bit of pressure the last couple times, but backing off a little bit, just tight pressure one-on-one as Line gets it across the timeline.
Now they settle into that man-to-man defense. McKnight with it on that far side of the floor. Gives a little hesitation move at the top of the key, draws contact as Devin Robinson commits the personal. That will be just the fourth team foul. So the Rams will inbound from the near sideline. 3 fouls now on Robinson. Lang with it. Out top, guarded by Floyd. Gives it off to Winston Burgess at that high post. And now a whistle and a foul as Sanders was trying to cut through the lane. Waiting to see who that one will go on. Looks like Seth O'Neal. So the sophomore guard commits the personal. Looks like that'll be his third, team's fifth. Ram basketball. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Burgess at the high post. Gives it off to Sanders. Sanders right back to Burgess, and the layup good off the glass, counted, and there's a foul. Josh Floyd came on the weak side for help defense, but got there too late.
The oldest play in the book ran the pick and roll at the top of the key. Winston Burgess wide open. Thought he could have maybe gone up a little bit stronger to the rim there, but a good job making sure he was controlled enough to get the basket and try for the three-point play.
It seemed like he was a little off balance as he caught that pass and really could only get up off that 1 foot. May have felt Floyd coming as well, able to get that shot to go. See if Burgess can complete the three-point play. The Ram lead back out to 14. Let's make it 15. Nice job, Winston Burgess. 59-44. Shepherd with the lead. Inbounds to Rackley. Good job by O'Neal as he rolled it to Rackley for about a quarter of the court. So time did not go off the clock. The clock doesn't start in that situation until it's touched. Rackley into the lane. His floater short off the rim. Rebound battle for McManus has it. Puts it back on the floor. Puts it up and in off the glass.
Good big man move. Good hesitation by McManus. Again, thought he may have gotten away with a few steps on that initial move, but a good big man move, good hesitation.
Our roster only lists McManus at 6'6", but he's got some girth to him as well. Nice drive by McKnight down the left baseline, layup good.
And Shepherd's done a very good job of controlling the mini run that Charleston may have been on.
3 ball from the left wing, and Seth O'Neal off the dribble drains it.
And there's that broadcaster's jinx kicking in right when it should.
61-49, Shepherd with the lead, 9:18 left in this one. McKnight on the right wing, giving to Sanders on the left side of the floor. 3 on the way, off the back rim, no good. Floyd grabs the rebound near the foul line. He's going to go coast to coast and right hands it up and in off the glass.
That's a great take.
And nobody stopped him, and he went straight to the rack, went down the left side of the rim, but used the right hand for the reverse kiss in off the glass. 61-51. Shepherd lead down to 10. Oh, beautiful drive by McKnight. Oh, draws contact and one as he lays it up and in.
Rackley getting a call for the foul, and that is not a smart foul. I mean, McKnight isn't going to miss that shot, and you just gave him a chance to make it a 3-point play instead of just making it a 2-point basket. But good for Shepherd as they extend the lead back out to 12.
All right, we got a timeout on the floor. Let's go ahead and again take the break. As we head into the break, we remind you that our score with 8:48 left, it is Shepherd.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Back again here at the Butchers Center along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller. It's a TV10 and WRNR YouTube TV broadcast of Shepherd Rams women's and men's basketball. We'll be here again next Wednesday for our second televised game broadcast. Thanks for dealing with us with a few hiccups that have occurred as we've gotten our coverage started. Our first broadcast from here in the Butchers Center. Free throw on the way, and that one rims in and out. Whoa, 3 misses from the foul line tonight for Derek McKnight. Don't see that often. 63-51 the Ram advantage. Rackley from the right wing. 3 ball off the rim, no good. Smith batted that rebound around, controlled by McKnight. Down the floor to Lang, to Burgess, and the one-hand stuff for Winston Burgess.
You know, I'm not going to complain about a dunk, but that could have been a whole lot more acrobatic if him and Lang would have taken some time. But again, not going to complain about the points. Winston Burgess had a few thunderous jams tonight.
3 ball from the right wing, too strong for Williams. Backside rebound McManus, and he just pulls his way back to the bucket and lays it up and in.
Wow. Talk about a big man move underneath. Use that girth you were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, knocked Winston right out of there.
With the girth that Winston does not quite have.
65-53. The lead for Shepherd. Smith penetrating baseline right side, draws contact and a foul. Count that bucket. A 3-point opportunity as Seth O'Neal called with a personal.
Shepherd doing a phenomenal job of fighting through these fouls. They've had quite a few shots today that have gone in, fighting through the fouls, been able to get to the foul line for the 3-point play. Really impressed with that so far, just their drive to the baskets and then fighting through the initial contact.
And you got to like the way they've been able to respond here late in this one, as well as the free throw up and good. Devin Smith gets it to go. Kissed the front of the rim, bounced around, and then drop through. Seems like each time that Charleston has put together a little mini run or made a bucket or two, the Rams have found an answer. Well, that's not the answer there, as Lang's going to get called with a foul on a three-point attempt from Rackley, who will now go to the line for 3 free throws.
I'm not sure that was a foul as much as it was an off-balance shot. I think that's what Coach Justin Namlik is talking to the referees about right now. Not sure how much contact Lang made there. I think that was just an off-balance 3 for Rackley.
Rackley puts this foul shot up and through, the 80% foul shooter. Last thing you want to do is foul him beyond the arc. Second free throw, that one is up and good. The boo did not affect him.
Yet.
Well, let's see. He's got one more. By the way, that last foul on Lang, his 4th. And no, Rackley not affected by any boos or noises as he knocks them all 3 through. 68-56. Shepherd with the lead in the ball. McKnight on that far side of the floor, guarded by Floyd. Gets a screen by Burgess, but then the double team comes and it's a steal. Floyd able to take that ball and drive down the left side of the lane and fouled before ever getting to the rim. Not a bad foul. Derek McKnight didn't want to give up the easy 2 and commits that personal. That'll send Josh Floyd to the line. He's listed under year as grad, so has already finished his undergraduate studies, as the free throw on the way comes off the rim, no good, and the rebound to Devin Smith.
Floyd is a 71% free throw shooter coming in, but hadn't seen a whole lot of action. That was only his 8th attempt at the line all year.
Cam Stevens into the front court for Shepherd, picks up that dribble, gives out top to Preston. Preston now amidst the double team, splits through it, passes off intended for Burgess, but there's the steal for Robinson down the floor to Rackley. 3 ball from the right side, left side, comes off the rim. Stevens the rebound, outlet McKnight. McKnight lobs towards the rim, and the lay-in is good as Winston Burgess grabbed it out of the air and banked it in off the glass.
A good pass there by McKnight. Good job to understand where Burgess was and lob it up. Not a thunderous jam like you may have expected, but again, hits the bottom of the net. That's all that matters. Shepherd, 14-point lead.
70-56, 6:51 to play in this one. We'll keep it right here as we talk about the Shepherd Rams, and you talked about it in the pregame, Matt, the depth, and that depth has helped them, I think, to be able to answer Charleston here late in this ball game when it looked like Charleston might be ready to make a run. Shepherd's not letting them get more than a bucket or 2 before the Rams are right back at the other end scoring themselves.
The one thing I will say is it seems like when Thomas Lang comes out of the game, they do have a little bit more of an issue running the offense and running the offense cleanly. So that would be looking at the depth of this team, that's about the only thing that I think this bench is missing so far. But like you said, Jarrell Jones could help with that when he comes back.
Charleston basketball into the front court. Rackley down the right side of the lane, and the foul on Winston Burgess. Tried to cut across the lane and block that shot and swatted down at it and clearly made contact, and Rackley back to the line.
Yeah, Shepherd the last couple times up the defensive end of the court. They've not done a very good job of moving their feet. A couple of what coaches are going to look at as lazy fouls where you're reaching rather than getting in front and putting your entire body in front of a offensive player as a defender. Is that first foul shot up and through for Rackley.
Yeah, and the last thing you want right now with the lead like they have is to see your opponent putting points on the board without time coming off the clock, and that's what these free throws give Charleston a chance to do. Both of them good. Rackley has made 5 straight free throws in the last couple of trips down the floor. Cam Stevens working up that far sideline for Shepherd. Giving it off to Preston. Along the near side to McKnight. Drives into the lane, has the basketball poked away. It's free. Picked up by Burgess, and he'll lay it up and in with the left hand.
Good job by Burgess. I think he got hit in the face, too. He came up scratching his eye a little bit, so maybe fighting through some contact, but good job by Burgess. And luckily that turnover by McKnight did not cost the Rams 2 points the other way.
72-58, that Ram advantage. Williams from the right corner, a 3-ball that comes off no good. Devin Smith the rebound, and we'll have a held ball called as Williams, following his own shot, got a hand in there. And there was a pretty quick whistle for the held ball and it'll stay with Charleston.
And you get great effort underneath, but I agree with you completely. That was a very quick whistle when it looked like Devin Smith had the basketball.
Inbounds to Floyd, to Rackley, cutting into the lane. His floater comes off the back rim, no good. McKnight the rebound. Ram basketball with a 72-58 lead. 6 minutes to play in this one. Shepherd looking for their first win in the Mountain East. They'll improve to 4-1, 1-1 in the league. Double team near midcourt, stolen away by Rackley as he took it from McKnight and lays it up and in.
And then it's now back-to-back times up the court that Derek McKnight has either gone too strong with his right hand with a defender on his right or picked his dribble up in an awful spot being double teamed.
Devin Smith with it deep on that right side of the floor. They'll work it around to John Preston on this near wing. And now we'll have a whistle away from the ball, and a hold will be called against, looks like Keith Williams. So Williams pleading his case. As Williams will commit his 4th personal foul. And Burgess will go to the line. Winston Burgess.
Thomas Lang back on the court for the Rams, coming in with 4 fouls, but again, needing him to run that offense a little bit. Derek McKnight, a couple of costly turnovers. One, luckily, Winston Burgess was able to get the loose ball and take it home, but a couple of bad turnovers the last couple times up the court.
Winston Burgess knocking them down, 74-60. The lead for Shepherd with 5.5 minutes left. Rackley from the foul line, knocks down the shot. Even off the dribble, he can hit that free throw, right?
Yep. And just trading baskets now are Charleston and Shepherd. Neither team really putting their stamp on this second half quite yet.
No, but if you're Shepherd, you can afford to have that happen. Burgess, left side of the lane, finds the cutter into the paint, and that's Preston who gets the layup.
Good job by Preston finding the gap in the defense, cutting down the middle of the lane. An even better pass by Winston Burgess, seeing him cutting behind him.
Rackley from beyond the arc and behind the screen, left wing 3, up and good. Boy, has he come to life late in this one. 76-65, that Ram advantage. Down the floor, Stevens got it underneath, but Burgess had the ball poked away before he could go up for the slam dunk. He was able to regain control, and then Preston out on that right side of the floor, fouled by Josh Floyd. Another timeout on the floor.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Back again at the Butcher Athletic Center. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Shepherd with a 76-65 advantage, 4:35 left in this one. Going to the line, coming out of the timeout, John Preston, 6'3" freshman. Takes the ball, a couple of dribbles, puts it up and puts it through. Shepherd's done a nice job from the foul line tonight, despite a few misses that we have seen, especially from some guys like McKnight that don't miss often.
Preston only his 3rd attempt on the season, 1 for 2. So a 50% free throw shooter up until that last shot. Now 3 for 4, 75% free throw shooter on the season.
Pretty good mental math there.
It's that Shepherd education.
78-65, that Shepherd advantage. Floyd with it out top. Giving it off to Rackley, top of the key. His three blocked by McKnight. Loose ball grabbed by Trayor, who may have stepped out of bounds, but got away with it as a foul is called on the Rams, and that'll go on 2-2 Devin Smith.
100% stepped out of bounds. I watched his left foot stepped out of bounds as soon as it touched the ball, so I think the refs missed that one, and they may cost Shepard 2 points.
That is 4 fouls that have now been whistled against Smith, and he's being sent over to see the trainer, meaning he must have some blood somewhere. And I think that's what Justin Namalik is talking about. My guy doesn't just bleed for no reason. Let's call the fact that he's being beat around in there, and so now Shepard takes their time, and finally Malik Sanders goes to the scorer's table.
Yes, but now he gets to have that fun glue stuff that glues your skin together.
Free throw on the way. It's good. Adam Trayor, senior, 6'6", out of New York City. Went to Hudson Catholic and attended Coppin State before coming to Charleston. He gets them both. 78-67, the Ram advantage. Inbounds to McKnight, racing quickly into the front court. And now fouled by Seth O'Neal. O'Neal giving a little earful to the referee. Did not like that call, but that will be number 5, and O'Neal will foul out. That's a big loss because he had a very strong first half.
He did, but you mentioned first half. Really haven't called his name other than taking some shots that have been missed here in the second.
It's been Rackley that's really lit it up here in this second half. Rackley does average 22 points a game. McKnight not missing this free throw.
Unprecedented, missed 3 prior to that last shot.
Foul shot up and no good as it rattles in and out. McManus the rebound. Charleston ball trailing 79-67. 4:10 left. Floyd on the left wing beyond the arc. Sanders guarding him. To Rackley at the foul line. Step back, thought about the shot, but passed it off. Floyd now with the right hand dribble drive to the rim. Shot too strong and going after the rebound, out of bounds off John Preston. I think he was so concerned about bodying out the big fella, McManus, that he just never really got his hands on the ball.
And Preston did a phenomenal job boxing out McManus, but you got to be able to bring that ball in if you're going to do 3. The hardest part of that is boxing out a guy like McManus, and you forget to do the easy part.
Inbounds to Rackley from the left corner. His 3 strong off the back rim. Preston does the box out this time, tips the rebound to Winston Burgess, and he is fouled.
And Preston, I think, couldn't bring that rebound in. I think his left arm looked like it was being held down by McManus. So no call there. So a good thing Shepard was able to get the ball back. So I think a call missed down low.
Now Keith Williams just committed his 5th foul. So he has fouled out of the game for Charleston. Each team in the double bonus, as we have had well over 10 fouls for each here in this second half. 3:50 remaining. Burgess at the line, and the free throw rattles around and pops out.
We talked about them going 11 for 12 in the first half from the foul line. Not such good numbers here in the second half.
This foul shot on the way, and it is good. Looks like Devin Smith has been patched up and can get back on the floor whenever Coach Namalik calls on him, as he now comes back to the bench. Feed down low to McManus, and he gives a little double clutch and puts it up and in.
Again, gave a little double clutch. Took about 3.5 steps.
That's part of that double clutch.
Double clutch and double move with the feet. I don't know how they keep missing it down low. He's moving 6 or 7 feet at a time without taking a dribble.
Double clutch or double Dutch.
Yeah.
One of those. McKnight out top trying to split a double team, and a reach-in foul called on Drew Rackley. Charleston aggressively trying to get the double team and get the ball away from the Rams as Shepard leads at 80-69. 3:25 remaining. McKnight at the line. Free throw up and good.
Again, we aren't being critical of Derek McKnight for missing 4 free throws in a game, but it's just rare. He came in a 90% free throw shooter, in case people joined late and didn't hear that initial number, as he knocks down both here.
82-69 now, that Shepard advantage. Rackley back the other way into the front court to Robinson. To Berg on that left wing. Now they'll lob down low, trying to get that one to Robinson, and that'll be a personal foul on Thomas Lang.
And that'll be number 5 on Thomas Lang.
There you go.
A ball game that he can go enjoy the rest of from the bench, as he will be fouled out. And a good game, at least running the point for Thomas Lang. We've gotten a little too much foul trouble. Now comes the interesting part. Shepherd's had problems getting the ball and running the offense and getting the ball up the court without Thomas Lang. We'll see if they can survive this last 3 minutes and 14 seconds. It's only a 13-point lead.
Devin Smith, who was injured a moment ago, back out on the floor for the Rams as Robinson at the line makes the free throw. Again, a 12-point Ram lead, 82-70. Shepherd doing a nice job. They came in averaging 76 points a game and facing a defense that had only been giving up about 79 points a game. And yet here are the Rams with an 82-71 lead as the second free throw was up and good. And we have a hold on Charleston before the Rams even inbounded the basketball. And that foul is going on Drew Rackley. And we'll come to the other end where it looks like John Preston. Yes, it will be Preston going to the line. Well, the good news about the foul is no time went off the clock. The bad news is you give Preston a pair of free throw opportunities. Again, both teams in the double bonus, and the foul shot, good.
What was that?
Good.
Is that a voice crack or was that intentional?
That was a little of each. I
Okay,
was trying for a new octave.
We're just going to roll with it.
It didn't quite work. This foul shot up and good. Is that better?
Should have lowered it in the shoving. Good.
84-71, Shepherd out in front. We near 3 minutes left. Rackley, deep three, left side, off the iron. Burgess in the air, grabs the rebound. Oh, but he's tied up underneath by Trayor, and the possession arrow is going to give it to Shepherd.
And Burgess gave up on that a little bit, it looked like. The minute there became contact with the ball, he should have been able to be strong enough to rip that out, and it seemed like he kind of froze.
So Sanders to trigger the inbounds, length of the floor to go, able to get it into Preston. He'll give to Sanders. In the backcourt to McKnight. They want him to bring it up the floor. Guarded tightly by Floyd. Here comes that double team. Pass down low to Burgess. Two-hand stuff right over top of Rackley. And that two-hand jam will give the Rams an 86-71 lead.
Emphasis on right over top of Rackley.
And now Rackley driving down the right side of the lane. He's bumped by McKnight. That will stop the clock. 2:41 to play. 86-71 Shepherd. But Rackley back to the line. He's going to end up being their leading scorer with most of his points coming in about the last 7 minutes.
And a lot of his points coming from the foul line.
Yes. We'll bring you those post-game numbers once this one wraps up. Free throw up and good. Drew Rackley. He went to UNC Asheville before making the transfer to the University of Charleston.
So a couple of D1 transfers on this team.
Both foul shots up and good in the backcourt. McKnight trying to avoid the double team, able to eventually work his way up this left sideline, and a double team comes and a timeout taken. And it's a good thing because it could have easily been a travel if it weren't for that time.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Wrong. Or he'd just take over the computer like he did earlier. That was fun.
We are back as the Rams work the inbounds pass and then out top get it to Devin Smith near that midcourt stripe. He is fouled as Charleston trying to stop that clock. 2:26 left. 86-73 is the Shepherd Ram advantage. Going to the line will be Devin Smith. Trying to add it to that Ram lead and puts it up and through.
Smith, 5 appearances at the foul line up until that point. He's now 5 for 6 on the season. Came in shooting 80% from the charity stripe.
He gets them both. 88-73. Shepherd with the lead, on the verge of reaching 90 points on the night. Rackley from the right corner gave a ball fake, now steps to his left, drains the three. They're going to count it, and there will be a foul that I believe is going to go on Winston Burgess. Bucket good for three, and yes, a foul underneath on Burgess. That is not good, as the lead has been cut to 88-76. And now Trayor will go to the line for two. This could be a 5-point possession, as Adam Trayor ended up on the ground. And the official from the outside far side of the floor says Burgess was the one to send him there. 88-76, that Ram advantage, but Trayor looking to cut into the deficit with only 2:18 left. Foul shot up and no good. And they have missed some free throws in this second half and down the stretch as well.
Well, you're bound to if you go to the line as many times as they had in this second half. You're not going to make all of them.
Second free throw up and good, and now Coach Osborne wants a timeout. 11-point now, that Ram lead, 88-77. They've been able to keep it in that double digits area this entire second half. Again, each time Charleston looks like they might be ready to make a move, Shepherd has had the answer. They've got to continue that answer through the final 2:18, because the way Trayor can knock down that three, you know, this Charleston team not out of it.
And again, Shepherd still having issues. I don't really think they have a true backup point guard. McKnight is bringing the ball up now, and he serves as that backup point guard when Thomas Lang cannot be in, but he's put himself in some sticky situations going into the corner in a double team and picking the ball up in a couple of different just situations that you don't want to have your point guard get into. So I think that's something that Shepherd is struggling with right now, is just getting the ball in, getting it up the court without Thomas Lang in.
Sanders with the inbounds, tried to get it to Preston, and a reach-in foul called on, I believe, Robinson. No, that was Floyd. So Floyd is called with the personal, if we heard correctly, as they have it up on the scoreboard. Yeah, Floyd had already very quickly exited the floor and is on the bench. And now checking in for the first time tonight is Tyler Haga, a sophomore guard out of Sophia, West Virginia, and Independence High School.
Southern part of the state?
You could say that. Preston at the line, free throw, up and good. Charleston's the southern part of the state too, so you kind of get the regional recruiting there, right? Second free throw on the way. It is good as well. 90-77. Shepherd out in front. Nearing 2 minutes exactly left in this one. Ball rolling up the far side, where eventually Rackley picks it up. He works to the foul line, forces contact, floats it up and in. Oh my goodness.
And Coach Namalik not happy about the way the defense is playing right now, and especially on that play. But looking at the 90 points scored by Shepherd, it's a Shepherd team that's only averaging about 76 a game on the season so far. But you look at this Charleston team, and they came in giving up almost 80 points on the season. So
Rackley completes that three-point play. It's a 10-point deficit, 90-80. And again, we're going to have a foul before the inbound, so no time goes off the clock.
Does it seem like we've been in the second minute for the last half hour?
It definitely,
a lot of fouls on either end of the court.
Definitely has taken a while. This may be a game of attrition, and it looks like the Charleston bench could be a little deeper than Shepherd's as far as the number of bodies available.
Well, it looks like just about everybody who's on that bench has been in the game at one point or another.
Derek McKnight back to the line, where the foul shot is good. Second free throw coming with 2:11 left. I can't wait to see the foul totals in the post-game numbers. Both free throws good, 92-80. Shepherd with the lead. Rackley letting that ball roll all the way across midcourt and eventually picks it up. He's going to drive down the left side of the lane and again banks it in, draws contact, and puts it in off the glass. Now you know why Rackley's averaging 22 a game.
And again, that only taking 3 seconds off the clock. So even when they're getting the ball in, and Shepherd's allowing them to get to the rim quickly.
5 fouls now on Devin Smith. He's done for the day. Joining Thomas Lang over there in that same category. Cam Stevens into the lineup, and the free throw up and good. Rackley does it again, another three-point play. McKnight taking the inbounds. Bumped in the backcourt, no foul called.
Contact to the head.
Yeah, gets it off to Preston, back to McKnight. Triple team near midcourt, and just as the ball got poked free, we finally get a whistle. The coaching staff, Coach Osborne and the bench, really not liking the call, but frankly, they got away with a few before that one.
Yeah.
Looks like that foul will go on Haga, and it will send McKnight back to the line. Hey, we're under 2 minutes, 1:57. Let's see how long this 1 minute time period lasts. I'm going to hit my stopwatch on my phone, I think, just to see as McKnight puts this one through. Another free throw coming. It's up and it's good as well. Now the Rams could be looking at 100 points tonight the way this one's playing out. They lead 94-83. Into the front court. Rackley out top, pulls up on the three. He got it. Drew Rackley is feeling it. 94-86, that Ram advantage. And the other way, McKnight across midcourt, bumped and fouled. And that should go on Jeremy Berg.
And again, I think that's showing, while it's a great job of McKnight getting up the floor quickly, that's where you need a true point guard to be able to slow down and have the ball control to wheel that back out. You don't need to be going 100 miles an hour. You're up by a substantial amount of points right now, or enough that would get you the win, as McKnight misses that foul shot. But you need to be able to slow down, take some time off the clock. You have a lead late in the game.
Second free throw coming. McKnight ready, puts it through. So he gets 1 of 2, 95-86, that Ram advantage. Rackley into the front court, long three, left wing, off the rim, no good. Haga the rebound. Gives it off to Trayor, back out top to Rackley, into the lane, floater up and good. Inbounds coming for Shepherd, leading 95-88. Stevens in the backcourt, lobbing ahead, gets it to Burgess, to Sanders, and a good job by Sanders to pull it out on that far wing and draw Charleston to commit the foul.
I thought for sure Sanders with the 2-on-1 was going to go straight for the rim. Phenomenal job by Sanders to slow down and realize the situation of the game.
95-88, Shepherd in front as Sanders goes to the line. 6'6" junior guard. Puts that one up and drops it through. Looks for his teammates. But nobody's there to give him that high five or anything.
They're playing defense.
67% foul shooter coming in, just 2 of 3 from the line today. Gets both of these, and it's a 97-88 Ram advantage. Rackley into the front court, deep on this right wing, works to the top of the key. Now down the right side of the lane. As he's forcing up the shot, we've got contact and a foul. That foul's going on Sanders.
Looked like a lot of ball from our angle. Again, couldn't see if there's anything else underneath, but from up top the bleachers across from the benches, that surely looked like a lot of ball.
Now Rackley's free throw hits the front of the rim, the back of the rim, rolls around and then drops off.
The boo worked that time.
Finally. No boo.
Shot made.
It's good.
Coincidence? I think not.
97-89. Shepherd in front. 1:07 left. Racing quickly up the near side. McKnight feeding underneath. Wanted to get that to Burgess, but we've got a whistle and a foul. Foul goes on 1-3 Adam Trayor.
At this point, you might as well just not knock 8 seconds off the clock and just keep sending them back to the foul line on each end, because that's what this last 5 minutes has been. 3 minutes and 22 seconds to get through the last minute.
Well, really, it's only been 55 seconds because we started that stopwatch with 1:57 left in the game. Free throw up and good. Another opportunity for McKnight, and he puts it through. 99-89. Shepherd a point away from reaching the century mark. Rackley on the wing right side, puts it on the floor, drives down the side of the lane, forces up the shot. It wouldn't go. Traore tips it up, still wouldn't go. Battle for the loose ball. Traore's got it, puts it up with the left hand and draws contact and a foul.
I'm not sure how you can call a foul. With all those bodies right there, I don't know how you can for sure tell there's a foul going on. There's people fighting for position. These refs are very whistle happy today with the touch fouls down low. There's a scrum down there. Let the boys play.
A lot of contact, that's for sure. Free throw on the way, up, and it's good. Traore gets that foul shot. Cuts the deficit to 9 again. 45.7 seconds left. Free throw up, free throw good. Sanders to trigger the inbounds, works it into McKnight. Gives right back to Sanders. Still in the backcourt to McKnight. McKnight splits a double team at midcourt and then has the basketball poked away, but Stevens picks up that loose ball. Stevens deep on this right wing will get fouled.
34 seconds left in this one. Shepherd in 8-point lead, and that'll be foul number 5 on number 13, Adam Traore.
So each team now has had a couple of guys fouling out. Well, actually 3 now for Charleston, as Floyd, O'Neal, and Traore have all fouled out. McManus back out onto the floor. Cam Stevens to the line. First free throw of the season, and he puts it through. The century mark as the Rams lead it 100-91.
Now at least 25 points over their average on the season.
Second foul shot up and good. He gets them both. 101-91, that Ram advantage. Rackley into the front court, going to take it all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. Inbounds to McKnight. McKnight in the backcourt. Behind the back dribble to avoid the double team, able to bounce it ahead. That's Sanders into the front court. Sanders slows it down, and looks like Charleston's going to call off the Dogs. They will not commit the foul. The Rams not going to be able, or are they, to run out all of the final seconds. It looks like they will, as the shot clock and the game clock almost simultaneous, and there it is. The Shepherd University Rams will get the victory by the final of 101-93 as the Rams improve to 4-1 overall, now 1-1 in the Mountain East Conference. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hope to have the final numbers from this one, and we'll wrap it up.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
too. All he's got to do is.
How's it going, man? Good to see you. And we are back once again here at the Butcher Athletics Center. Back one final time on this Monday evening as we get into our post game following the Shepherd Rams 101-93 victory over the University of Charleston. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. And Matt, I tell you, what a game for the Rams. The first 10 minutes, they struggled out of the chutes. If this were a horse race, they would have been lagging behind as they made that quarter turn. But as they headed towards that second turn, the Rams really got hot as Thomas Lang knocked down a couple of threes that seemed to knock the lid off the rim. And the Rams then all began to pour it in. They picked it up on the defensive end. And by the time the Rams reached halftime, they had turned a early double-digit deficit into a 38-31 lead, and then in the second half, they go on to outscore Charleston 63-62 and get the victory 101-93.
You look at those 62 points, however, and that was a lot of shots at the foul line. That was a lot of prayers the last couple minutes of the game, so not nearly as close as that score might indicate. But Shepherd did a phenomenal job. Like you said, they came out slow. There's no other way to put it other than they came out extremely slow. It was almost the opposite of what we saw in the girls' game a little bit earlier, where the Shepherd women came out hot and then started to slow down after that. It was the opposite. Shepherd, the men's side, came out and they looked slow to start. It looked really slow. Again, I think if you would have told me in the first 5 minutes of this game, Shepherd's going to score 101 points, I'd have called you crazy. And I think you'd go right along with me in saying that also. But a good job by Coach Namlick and his staff to figure out what wasn't working and make adjustments within the game, and for these players to start knocking down shots. Again, I know you just got to deal with that. It's basketball, but a good job all around and a good win to get to the 4-1 mark early in this season.
How crazy was this game? When it comes to free throws, are you ready? Listen to these totals. This is combined. 58 personal fouls lead to 80 free throws, with the teams combining to make 66 of those 80 foul shots. No wonder the last few minutes seemed like they took forever. They did, because of all of those free throws. Here's the breakdown. Ready? For Charleston, 29 of 37 from the line, 8 of 24 from beyond the arc. While Shepherd went 37 of 43 from the line, 6 of 16 from beyond the arc. So the Rams in all shot 63% from the floor, 38% from three-point land, and 86% from the line, while Charleston, not bad. They shot 48% from the floor, 33% from beyond the arc, and 78% from the line, but certainly not enough in this one.
No, this is a battle of two good teams. This is a Mountain East Conference basketball game at its finest. You have two high-powered offensive teams going back and forth in that last 5-6 minutes. While it seemed to take about an eternity, it was teams flying up and down the court, and that is Mountain East basketball at its finest.
Well, as we continue with a couple of team totals, 14 turnovers for Charleston, 16 for Shepherd. The Rams losing by 1 in the rebounding category, 27-26. The fact that in a game where there are all those free throws and all those shot attempts, the fact that there are only, 53 rebounds is kind of incredible, if you ask me. Let's round out some individual numbers. Drew Rackley, he finished with 47 points on the night to pace the way for Charleston. 47. Winston Burgess goes for 32 for the Rams. Other scorers in double figures for Charleston, 14 for Seth O'Neal, who fouled out, and 13 for Adam Trayor, who also fouled out. Lamont McManus finished with 10 points. For the Rams in double figures, you had the 32 from Burgess, then 26 from Derek McKnight, 15 from Thomas Lang, and 11 points for Devin Smith. The most important thing of all, the Rams now 4-1 overall, and they are 1-1 in the Mountain East Conference as they get the win in this one. So, Matt, a quick recap of the night shows a split between the women's and men's teams as Charleston gets that women's victory 85-71. The men win in the nightcap for Shepherd 101-93.
Yep, it was a split day for the Shepherd Ram basketball teams and a good win for the men as, again, they improved to 4-1, and they get that very crucial first win in the Mountain East Conference. And for the women, well, they've hit a bit of a bumpy road here the last couple of games. They need to regroup, have this holiday. You got a little while off to kind of regroup, maybe gain some energy back, and it's been a tough run here with a lot of games early in the season and camp right before that. So a tough physical run for them. So hopefully they can get it back on track, and we'll be out here next Wednesday.
There it is. The teams now head out for the Thanksgiving break. Next Wednesday, we will be here to bring you the play-by-play as the Shepherd Rams will welcome in the Bobcats of West Virginia Wesleyan. That again will be 5:30 and 7:30 for the women's and men's action, and you can catch it on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Thank you for joining us. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. Until next week, happy Thanksgiving and so long, everyone.